research and my opinions, doing deep dives into not only Abrahamic religions, but hard hard argument to drive when I get into like paganism and like polytheistic stuff.
Hmm.
But and then into science, it shows to me that I would think there is a creator, and there are certain levels where I would create a cap or a limit to what I would consider a god. It doesn't necessarily have to be an all-knowing God depicted by an Abrahamic religion. And I digress there.
All right, sure. Now, when you say unexistence, what do you mean by that exactly?
So I don't think there's empirical evidence to prove that there is not some sort of intelligent design or a creation,
Hmm.
a point of origin. But even though we know very little about the entirety of the universe, but if we could, there are pinpoints within the cosmos where we do find that this stemmed from that, and there are lifespans to certain things, like even knowing that the energy in a particle will completely die out.
Hmm.
And it's astronomical math. It's like I think 10,000 to 38th power, and that somewhat contradicts the second law of thermodynamics. And
Somewhat.
I,
But the thing is, what I would say to that is that um, it's kind of trying to prove a negative. You feel me? You feel me? Because all the God claims, they're just making claims and saying that we should believe it or else get punished. At least the Abrahamic ones do.
yes,
But like the burden of proof would then be on them to actually show that there is. And until such a time comes around, there's no reason to believe them.
yeah. So like that's one of my been that's definitely a big issue I have with the Abrahamic religions, right? And there's certain contradictions within Abrahamic religions that I don't find that makes sense. So if you're an all-knowing God, you can't be good, right?
Hmm.
Because then you take the fatalism, right, where everything is predetermined throughout the entirety of time. He knows what's going to happen. Nothing, anything we do is going to change it. But then there's an avenue of free will, which is contradictory. If we have the free will to manipulate, not literally change the future, but we make decisions which will affect the future, it's either one or the other. So that's a major contradiction, and I don't think it's fair to just accept something without empirical evidence. I do find there are certain things that can be proven scientifically in the Bible,
Hmm.
with some debate. Like I do believe the flood happened, but I don't believe the entire Earth was flooded. I think it was a little more localized. Because if you didn't
Yeah,
live
but
around,
something like that is like kind of not really extraordinary because the people who make claims on the Bible say that it was literally a worldwide flood. So if it's localized, then yeah, sure, that's not really surprising because anywhere that lived next to rivers or next to a body of water
yeah,
flooded.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, for sure. Like if you did not live by a body of water in those times, you wouldn't make it. I mean, seriously, like you had to have a source of water. They didn't have modern day plumbing.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't disagree with you there. So I guess
Mhm.
my question to you is that why? So I'll ask this: Are you strictly atheist? Do you truly believe there is no God and there's no aspect of maybe there could be a creator, like even like taking it outside of an Abrahamic sense?
Mhm. Yeah, I'm open to the possibility, but no such evidence has come along, so I just don't believe it.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah, yeah. I prefaced this conversation with saying I haven't found empirical evidence on either side. So even what I'm saying is opinion. It's not empirical fact. Um,
Mhm.
but
Yeah,
why
I mean
why
the,
do
the the thing that I'll always say is that there's no empirical evidence against dragons either, but we don't say that those exist or could exist.
Yeah, that's fair. There's actually been some really interesting, things on that. Like if you were a creature that could fly and you were that
Hmm.
large, your bones would have to be hollow, just like a lot of birds, and
Right.
they would actually, disintegrate over time. Um, but so here's another question for you: Why do you fall on the line of atheism than more of a creator if there's no proof on either side?
um, because of the fact of the lack of evidence of the claim. The claim is that a God exists. Because that lack of evidence is because there's such a huge lack of evidence, or basically no evidence at all. I just don't believe it. And atheism is simply not accepting God claims, not believing in a God. That's all it is. It's not a claim towards anything.
Well, I mean, I think it's a big claim to say that there isn't a God, right? And if there's no level of proof on a God
Hmm.
existing or unexisting, even though you make the claim of a God not existing, I don't know that that's any different. I don't have a problem with it. Don't get me wrong. I don't know that it's any different in terms of empirical proof.
It is because you know how they say absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Recently, people have been adding on to that. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence, unless evidence is expected in a current claim. And if they're a God claim like the ones that Christians, Muslims, Hindus, etc. have, you would expect evidence of that. And because we don't detect any, therefore we can say is not real. For example, Santa Claus. For if you look at all the stories of Santa Claus, for example, is a big fat white guy who flies around, December 25th giving presents to kids and lives in the North Pole with a bunch of elves. We would expect some evidence of that, and we don't see any. So what do we say? It doesn't exist. And
Yeah, fair
not
enough.
only that, there are different types of atheists too. I'm not a strong atheist. I'm a weak atheist. I'm gonna call what we call it an agnostic atheist, because like if you were to ask me, does God exist? I'll be like, I don't know. But if you ask me if I believe it, and I'll tell you no.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm the same thing as you, just on the other side of the spectrum. I'm a weak monotheist.
Hmm.
um, so like, let's take the Abrahamic God element out of this.
Hmm.
So in the earlier conversation when I said that I think there's a cap to what I would consider a god, if there was some sort of creature, you can call it an alien or a more advanced being that could seed galaxies, I would consider that a god.
Yeah, if there's some sort of creature who can rearrange molecules like the Molecule Man in X-Men, or a kid like Franklin Richards, then yeah, that's a god. Yeah, I mean, you better bow down and worship that kid because he can rearrange your molecules. And I probably still wouldn't, but still, like, it's yeah, there are godlike creatures that we can probably say is out there. If there's like a creature out there that's big as Galactus, I mean, it can move planets. That's basically godlike to us because we're godlike to ants. Yeah, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
yeah, sure. Like I will probably would accept that. But we don't have any evidence of that yet. Yeah, sure, some alien like that could exist, but until evidence is brought forth, there's no reason to really believe it. There's no reason to believe that really aliens could be like just like us. You know what I mean? Regular ass motherfuckers, probably smarter than us by a little bit, but other than that,
I think they'd have to be way more intelligent than us, and not necessarily more intelligent. They've just had millions of years to advance.
yeah. I
Um,
mean, if they cracked FTL and interstellar travel, then yeah, they're way smarter than us
yeah,
because they were able to crack faster than light. But like other than that, if they're just like us, just looking out into the stars, we'll probably meet each other in thousands of years.
Can
fair
I just
enough.
say that
Go ahead.
I believe that many people who are atheists become atheists because religion is so crammed down people's throats, and there's a shit ton of rules and guidelines. And personally, I'm very not religious, and I remember a time when I was really depressed, and I said, if you exist, you need to reveal yourself. And after that, it, not he, it began to reveal itself in different ways. It began to show me things that couldn't possibly be uh, earthly, meaning certain things. For example, I would say things in my mind, and those things would show up. I would have a idea about something, and it would be revealed to me by another person, place, or thing. So I understand why people become atheists. I totally understand because when I was growing up, being made to go to church, one Sunday God was going to get me, the next Sunday it was the devil. It was confusing. And now, as an adult, when I think about it, it's ridiculous. But I
Hmm.
do believe in universal law. What you give, you get, and that can be proven. You can
Isn't
prove
that?
that every day of the week.
Mhm.
What you give, you get. There are universal laws.
I mean,
So I
yeah,
think,
sure.
and I
If you
think
would,
if you,
I mean, I would say, yeah, sure. You know, what, on a superficial level, what you put out there is
hmm
what you're gonna get. Like, if you're out there being a complete asshole to people, then yeah, people are not going to like, like you, of course. Yeah, I mean, but like on a any level other than superficial, I don't see any reason to believe that the universe moves or cares about us.
So
well, I think
I
it.
kind
I
of
think
agree
it's.
with.
I
Go
think
ahead.
we live from a perspective of outside us, and that's where the problem is. Because I understand that we, as human beings, have power, just as that supreme being. And I like the term that you used, Lucas. You called it something else. I don't know what you said, but I like that term. You
I'm
called
not
it
sure.
some you I don't know what you said, but you called it something else. And I think that people don't like that word God because of how religious doctrine
Yeah.
has pushed it and shoved it and judged us for it and constantly saying that we're less than, but we are. I believe, I have used I statements. I believe we're co-creators
Yeah. So
because
one thing.
nothing makes my heart beat. I can't make my heart beat. Something is making it beat.
So
Yeah,
one thing
your
that I.
your brain makes your heart beat.
Well, what makes my brain fire?
Neurons.
Neurons, chemicals, things like that.
Yeah, we're
And,
basically a machine. Like there's processes that happen within the
right,
human body.
and don't you see it as miraculous that we can make other humans?
I
No.
think it's mathematically astonishing given how big
Mm-hmm.
the universe is that we do have the chance to exist, but I don't know that I would consider it a miracle. It would be considered rare um, throughout, the cosmos, but I don't know that it's
I mean, there could be life
miraculous.
on there could be life in this solar system on a moon and Jupiter.
Yeah,
Life could be rare, but even if life is rare, I don't think that implies anything miraculous or even a god.
I agree.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Maybe,
So
maybe.
one thing. Go
Sorry
ahead.
about that. I got a phone call. Sorry about that. But yeah, I don't think it's I don't think it's necessarily miraculous that that life it exists. Yeah, I mean, like, it could be rare, but like, we know how life develops, so it's not something I find miraculous.
So you basically see everything from a scientific level
Yeah, I mean, there's no other reason to view it any other way.
So like me and the
for,
host
for
kind of
you.
differ. Me and the host kind of differ a little different on opinion. I think he bases his atheism like through a scientific lens. I kind of
Mm-hmm.
base my belief in God through a scientific lens. And I think there are aspects that you're talking about with which are kind of, more, basic biology of, us being humans, of just like, the body working. Like it is a machine, like the heart pumps blood, there's oxygen rich blood and you can't exist without oxygen. It has to be prevalent within the human body, cardiovascular system, and it's intricate, it's complex. Yeah, I would consider it rare like you said, but I wouldn't consider it a miracle because the playing field has been given for it to exist.
Yeah, I don't see a
The
scientific
playing
reason
field.
for a god either.
Please explain that. The playing field has been given. What do you mean by that?
So, like, let's say the beginning of our galaxy, right? It was just cosmic dust, and you get into Einstein's theory of relativity, which mass attracts mass, right? So, our solar system, taking it even smaller, we only have one star inside our solar system. Besides Oort, which comes around every certain million years, I won't get into that. We revolve around the star, right? We have an orbit, and that's after all this cosmic dust has come together. And we have mass, which is basically planets that have come together and solidified. Now we have an atmospheric structure based on our distance from the sun that allows life to actually exist.
Mhm. Can I just get a pause real quick? Hey, shout out to everybody who's watching me over on my YouTube. What's up, Cass? What's up to here? I see you on the comments. Red, I do see you there. And May, I see you in the box. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up next. Guys, we got about 2 or 3 more minutes, and I'm gonna go ahead and move on. We got about 469 likes. Y'all keep liking the live. We got 31 people in here. Let's try to go ahead and get some more people in here. Hey, Dirty Mondo, you've been crashing out in the comments for the past like 10 minutes. I've already invited you up. I'm not sure why you're not coming up. You just want to go ahead and crash out in the comments. This happens all the time. They just come in the comments and they crash out and never come up to actually talk about anything. If he keeps doing it, I'm just gonna go ahead and block him because it's a waste of time. But anyway, guys, yeah, we got about 2 more minutes and I'm gonna move on to Mr. Red. You guys have any last thing to say?
Yeah, so I'll finish my point, right? So
Sure.
basically, our solar system is very rare considering the gaps between other solar systems that are viable for human existence, right? Some sort of like bipedal human existence. But that's the playing field we were given. And through evolution and whatnot, throughout, millions of years, billions of years of creation, we exist now. So it's not so much a miracle, but it's rare, if that makes sense. Like there's nothing outside of it being able to exist versus it could not exist, if that makes sense.
Let me just say I believe in both. I've
That's
I've
fair.
my my viewpoint is more of levels of consciousness. I can't speak on anything scientific. I know the body is made up of all these organisms and we can get into the biology and all of that good gravy. But at the
I,
same time, I challenge, this is a challenge. I challenge you, uh Volsi, is that
Mm.
your name?
Yep.
I challenge you to challenge it to reveal itself in a manner that you would know that it exists.
Yeah, sure. All it has to do is reveal itself to the entire planet at the same time in everyone's language.
No, I mean your language. See,
Yeah,
that's the
English.
thing.
The what?
It reveals itself in a manner that you would know it's real.
Yeah, in
And
the
it
way
will
that
be different.
right.
It
But
will be
Una,
different
what
per
I'm saying, Una,
person.
what I'm saying, the way that I know it will be real is that if it revealed itself to every single person on the planet in their language simultaneously, it should have the power
Why
to do that.
why
so
would it need to do
can I
that?
jump in? Hold
That's
on,
how I know it will be real.
let me jump in real quick. So
Hmm.
before you move on to the next guest, I know we're kind of going over your time limit. I apologize. You need to read a book called Quantum by Manjit Kumar Una. So he is basically one of the lead scientists on consciousness experiments within quantum mechanics. He does things with random number generators, which is a random experiment he did. The way algorithms work in random number generators is the algorithm has to equalize itself. So whether it's 5 minutes or 2 years, they have to have a 50% outcome of like binary code, zeros and ones, right? And he put people in front of it connected to, you ever seen those machines with the crazy people where they connect it to your temples or whatnot? He
Hmm.
connects that, and that is directly applied to something that can manipulate random number generator algorithms. And they no longer get 50-50% outcomes, whether it's 5 minutes or 2 years. He's never had one. And he'll put the same person with the same emotion in front of it, and they are deducing that consciousness does affect reality, but it's an observation that cannot be calculated. Um, Really good read, really good book. So that is one thing that this is a very theoretical field. So whether the host has his final, this is the proof, which I don't disagree. I would agree with that. There are things we are scientifically studying right now that does show consciousness can affect reality. It's just unable to be computed or mathematically proven. It's an observation.
All right, but if that's the case, if it can't be mathematically shown or scientifically proven, then at the end of the day, it's just a claim. Then it's not really evidence of anything.
I don't disagree with you, but I mean, if you want to get into that, it's a very good read. It definitely pushes the bounds of going in the right direction to find the result you would want to find to be viable for proof.
All right, cool. All right, I appreciate you being up here, Lucas. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on now. Una, Lucas, I appreciate y'all being up. Y'all are some great guests. All right, so y'all go ahead and keep liking the live and keep sharing. I keep inviting people up, and y'all not coming. So, all right, so Mr. Red, was that?
How you doing, my brother?
I'm all right. How's it going? Hey, how's it going, Martin? Mac Luster, shout out to you. Yeah. So, Mr. Red, you said you had a question for me?
Yeah, no, I just had one question for you.
Mhm.
I respect everybody, point of view. I ain't no here to, dialogue trying to change nobody. But don't I do on that. Only question I just had for you, I see you say, yeah. So if you find out God is real, then what?
Oh, he's real. Cool.
Yo,
That's basically it.
that's all I just had to ask.
All right, cool. I appreciate you.
No, I appreciate you, bro.
Not a problem. Okay, YSCD. I'm not sure how to say your name. Is it Wicked or how do I say that? Oh, they're in teacup. They're teacup. I'm one with.
Just why?
There. Just why? Okay, why? How's it going? All right, cool. I missed your comment, but you said that there it is. He can't because our hearts are closed. We have heart in our hearts, and we can't unite in the world. First of all, are you over 18, and do you disagree with something I have on the board? If you swipe away from the app, I can't hear you. All right, y'all, go ahead and keep liking the live. We got 29 people in here. I might hit a quick reset so we can go ahead and get more people into the live. I'm gonna talk to Y real quick. Just waiting for her to come back.
No, I'm
Shout out to
here.
everybody who's watching.
I'm here. What do I need to do?
There you are. All right, now if you swipe away from the app, I'm not gonna be able to hear you.
Okay.
So I was, yeah, your comment. Well, first I was asking, are you over 18, and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
God isn't necessary for purpose. Yeah, I think I do disagree.
All right,
I
sure.
do.
Why?
I think that I was swiping, so I really didn't come in hearing the entire conversation. The only thing I heard was you saying that until God reveals himself or something to us all at the same time. Is that what you said?
Say that one more time.
I think you were saying to someone, he is not real until he reveals himself to everyone at the same time. I think that's what I heard you say, right?
No, what I said was she said I should challenge, whatever exists, God or whatever, to reveal himself or itself in a way that I would know that it's real. And I would say the way to do that is to give everyone on the planet the road to Damascus experience.
Oh, I didn't hear that part.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
if there is a, I'm sorry, go ahead.
can you elaborate that? Can you elaborate on that part where you said to give everyone that experience? What do you mean by that experience?
The Bible that of Paul, he the way that he became a Christian is that Jesus revealed himself to Paul on the road to Damascus. So I said for me to believe that there is a God out there that is real and that is all powerful or whatever, to give everyone on the planet that same experience. Basically,
Okay.
everyone at the same time in their own language getting the road to Damascus experience. Like, basically, it doesn't have to be the Christian God, but any God out there reveal himself to everybody and say, okay, I am God in their language at the same time simultaneously. Because
So
there will be no reason for everybody, for 7 billion people to get that same experience at the same time. There has to be something else.
so then if you're referring to Paul, he's one person, one man, right? So if you believe his experience in the Bible, you believe something in the Bible. So that means in the book of Acts where it says when God basically when they were all on one accord, right? That means what you're talking about. They were all on one accord and he showed himself and they began speaking, right? Every man, every woman heard him in their own language. So if I speak Hebrew, I heard him in Hebrew. If I speak English, I heard him in English. If I speak Japanese, so that's another story from the Bible that says that, when they were all on one accord. So that means
Hold on, which story was this?
In the books of during Pentecost.
During Pentecost. Okay. No, number one, when it comes to that story, I'm just giving that story as a reference frame for people to understand what I'm talking about, right? That's number one. I don't believe that actually happened.
But that's why I pointed to Paul. But you believe Paul happened, right?
I believe Paul was a real person, but I don't believe that what that story in the Bible is actually true.
And then we pick and choose. That's why I started off by saying, if you believe the story of Paul and you believe that that was one man that he spoke to, none of us were ever there for any of those accounts. So we have to have something in our heart to believe. So that's what I was saying, that I'm a believer.
No,
so,
well, what I'm saying, I don't think you understand what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that I think Paul was a real person because we have evidence that Paul was a real person. But the stories that he had in the Bible, I don't believe are true. Just because he existed doesn't mean the stories of him are actually real.
Well, there are accounts of different people. And I just had this conversation with a friend because he was talking about spreading, like, in other words, people spreading gossip. And he said he had a friend who's kind of messy and he can't survive unless he has drama, right? People who do things for no reason or start trouble or like to see fights. That's why we can't get on one accord. That's why he can't show himself, because we have hardened ourselves. Over time, they might have been all on one accord. They might have been thirsty enough. Like what we're going through right now, we should be getting thirsty, not angry. We shouldn't be mad at Trump.
I'm not exactly sure what you mean by any of this. We should be going to
God. We should all be seeking.
I'm sorry.
Wait, our hearts are hardened.
Wait, hold on. Why? I'm sorry. Like I have a rule here. No preaching. All right. I'm not sure what you mean by any of this. No, but when you say our hearts should be hardened on the cord and go on to God, that sounds like preaching to me. So what I'm trying to say is like because you started off that you disagreed that with me when I said God is unnecessary for a purpose. Why do you disagree with that?
Oh, I didn't hear that, but I guess I can try to answer it in my own little way, and not that I'm right. I've gone through countless of very bad experiences, negative experiences. I've helped walk people through and been there along their journey. And I just think I can't do this on my own. There's some natural power that created me, that allowed me to be here. And I may like some other people, suicide is high. You have to believe in something higher than you. And those stories, those accounts get me through. And even now, where we have went out and shot them, and I hate to use that, but no, I'm sorry. I don't know if I can use that word. The man from United Health.
I understand. Okay, so gotcha. Okay, so when you say that we have to believe,
I have a choice.
All right, hold on. Why? When you say that we have to believe in something higher, why is that necessary to believe in something higher? I don't need to believe in something higher. I'm fine. I actually want to become a therapist to help people through their hard times.
Yeah, and I just believe that's just my choice. I decided to join a church many years ago. And of course, I follow the Bible. Do I believe everything literally? I believe that Jesus spoke in parables. I believe, that the Holy Spirit is with us. There's something in us. I believe that we have a soul, and maybe people have become tainted and darkened. We don't believe in anything. It keeps you grounded.
Gotcha. Let me ask. Is it necessary though to keep you grounded? Well, is it necessary for anyone to keep anyone grounded?
Well, I think people go to a build, and sometimes we have poor examples that lead us down the wrong path, and we don't really perform the way we should. I think it's an individual experience. We are repetitive. We go, we do, but maybe our hearts, again, our hearts might not be there. That's why we can go, not let the words in, go out and do some horrible act the next day, and then maybe some religions you can pay your way out of it, right? We've been taught,
Um,
things have been tainted in our world, and
Gotcha. Can you pause me real quick?
yes.
No, number one, you guys kind of have a bad connection, so I'm not sure if you can get on Wi-Fi or not. But you kind of have a, excuse me, you kind of have a bad connection. So everyone in the comments, go ahead and pray her for her signal and her Wi-Fi, because the connection is kind of bad. But the second thing that I would say
Absolutely.
is the second thing
No,
that I would say is
can I
that
say
I understand
something?
that.
I think
Hold on, wait. Yeah, what's up?
I'm in a smart, what do you call them? Where they're trying to take the cities into smart cities. Because all my stuff
Okay.
is getting scrambled all the time. So pray for that if you guys have that coming your way.
Yeah, gotcha. All right. Well, this is what I'm saying though. I understand, like, for some people that it keeps them grounded and gives them purpose or whatever, right? The reason why I say that it's unnecessary is because clearly
Hmm.
there are people who exist out there, such as myself, that have purpose, that have meaning in our lives, that are grounded in something and don't believe. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I say that it's unnecessary for, I don't even think it's necessary for you. But if someone were to tell me that, hey, this keeps me grounded, and if I don't have this, I'm gonna take my knife and start, cutting people up, then yeah, sure, I'll take you to church myself if that's the case. But if that's not the case, then it's not really necessary. I think for most level-headed people out there, you can ground yourself in anything, that's not harmful. I don't think believing in a supernatural deity that created us and has souls and sacrifice himself to himself for the rules that he created himself is necessary to believe.
Well, before I came to Christ, I think, things seemed easier for me. I was, a realtor at 18. I had good jobs, I had a car in high school. So things were easy for me, but I wasn't always living the walk that I should be. Right. And I think that that's the difference, because we make a lot of choices. We have free will to do anything. I don't think God's a God that is going to knock you over the head and make you. But at the end of the day, I'd rather err on the side of, if we have a choice to go to one place or the other. Most people say, oh, don't talk about that. There is no other place. There is no heaven and hell. Da, 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 da. I choose not to be wrong at the end of the day. Because I could go
How,
out
how
and
do
I
you?
could have 10 men. I can do a lot of different things. I can do whatever I want as an adult. That's how we live our lives, right? Especially young people now. We can't tell them anything. They're grown. And as far as they're concerned, we're nothing, because they have all this technology. They can get it fast. And look at us. Where are we, working 20 years. So you could do anything.
Okay.
I could get smart with
Right. I
80-year-olds.
I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got two questions though. Number one, what was wrong with how you were living before? And number two, how do you know you're not still wrong? Because there are other religions out there. How do you know pick the right one?
Oh, well, I have someone in my life, not romantically, just a relative, few relatives who have chosen to go to Islam. And so we have these somewhat discussions. They don't want to hear anything I have to say, and I don't beat them over the heads. What I say is I choose not to pray in other languages, other chantings. I want people to speak English to me. I want to understand. I don't. It's a fine line in many of these. Just like how we can go over to some countries and they're the same of Muslim faith, but they might be extremists, right? That's not my ideology, right? To go worship somebody who's a hateful, unaliving person. Look at our wars, right? People believe in these religions, and in the name of religion or Allah or whoever, there's a lot of promoting that is sinful, right? But
Hmm.
we want to be a part of something so bad, like a fraternity, sorority. We always want to belong. We don't have identities of our own. So that's my choice, to have a
Right,
private
right.
relationship with God.
I understand all that, but my question still is the question: how do you know you chose the right one? Because
And that's
there are
what
still
that
other religions out there. Like even if you don't take Islam to be the truth, there's still Hinduism, there's still Shintoism. My grandmother was from Haiti, and she practiced Haitian voodoo. Why isn't that one right?
and see, it's very subjective to each person, but I choose love. I choose peace. I know there's a lot of stories in the Bible that don't sound that way, and we say, "Oh, well, the Bible says this." I take it as parables, and people were doing what they're doing today, whether it's undercover. I choose the path of what Jesus would have promoted, and I choose love. And so, some of these other, I don't believe. We have celebrities who call themselves gods and goddesses. We have many that we all hear about, right? Oh, this one unalive, this one, East Coast, West Coast. It was a shootout. That's not God to me, right? I choose the path of peace. I choose to follow something where I don't have to trick somebody. I don't have to have a tarot card. I don't have to
Can you be
take your man
peaceful
by
and
doing potions,
can you be
right?
can you be peaceful and be in another religion?
I think there's a lot of people in other religions, tons of religions, and they're peaceful, right?
Right.
Um,
So that you I understand what you're saying, but like that's not necessary to be peaceful either. I mean, I'm part of no religion. I'm still peaceful, right?
um, I don't know because I don't know you. You might have friends and a great life and a great job. I don't know if that's necessarily peaceful because, as I mentioned before, I'd rather err on the side of when I leave here, where am I going? Where's my soul going? And that's the part that everybody battles about. And I think people who want to rule their lives, I'm not going to listen to a man. How can a man, tell me I'm going to burn? That don't sound like God. We have something to say about everything. We can this. That's why these wars are going on, right? A lot of them,
Right. No,
religion.
I get that, but it all comes back to the right to the it all comes back to the same question. If you're gonna err on the side of caution, why not just convert to every religion out there? Because according to the Muslims, you're wrong. According to the Hindus, you're wrong. According to my grandmother, God rest her, saying everyone else is wrong because you can't all be right, but you can all be wrong. So why not err on the side of cautious and not
Well,
believe any of it until it's proven?
I'll tell you, like I tell my relative who's just starting to go through the Muslim faith, when you come in my house, you take your shoes off. That's not religion. That's grandma stuff, right? It's respect. They go to the
Mm-hmm.
mosque, they take their shoes off. They come in my house, they track snow in. So you got to be right. You can't pick and choose. It makes you a loving, humble person. It doesn't make you a person who wants to go out and unalive people. It doesn't make you a person who you have to, connect with a gang.
Yeah, it was getting too much. All right, y'all. I appreciate everyone being in here. We got 1.2K, like 60 people in the building. That was getting to be too much. Yeah, I think she got dropped by Jonesy. No problem. All right, Poseidon, you there?
Yes, hello.
How's it going? Give me 1 second, Poseidon. Luhan, are you there?
Yep, still here.
All right, cool. So Poseidon, are you over 18 and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
Yes, I'm 34, born in 1990, and I do have a couple things I wanted to say. First off, I know it says no preaching and monologuing. Can you just define preaching? Because if we're talking about biblical things, I might have to get a little preachy.
Yeah, preaching is basically what we see like on TBN with John Hagee and Kenneth Copeland and people like that. No doing that. We've all heard the stories of the Bible already. We know that Jesus supposedly died for our sins on the cross. We know God is the same today, tomorrow, yesterday. We know the spiritual stuff, etc., etc. Like we know all that. That's what I mean by no preaching.
Okay, because I was just like, okay, if we're talking about God, it's going to get a little hard to not preach a little bit, but I get it. Okay. I guess my one of my biggest questions was that evolution has evidence and creation doesn't. I kind
Correct.
of wanted you to go, but I kind of wanted to point towards the Big Bang Theory and try and get you to talk about that. How does the Big Bang Theory, I guess, point towards no God, I guess?
The Big Bang Theory doesn't comment on a God at all. And
Okay.
and the Big Bang is not even the beginning of the universe. It's just our expansion of space time and the universe as we understand it.
Sure. I mean, I guess the biggest question is how the Big Bang started, right? I mean,
Yeah, no
if
one
we have
knows.
a, what was that?
No one knows.
Okay. I mean, if you go to the,
If you go to actual like scientists and papers, they all say it kind of started from nothing, right?
No, they don't.
Many of them do. Several papers,
No, they don't. Which
several
ones?
textbooks too, will point towards nothing created the Big Bang.
No, it doesn't. Which one says that?
So, let me pull up one real quick.
Well, if it does, it's wrong, because like nothing can exist. There's no such thing as nothing.
Exactly. That's my point. And there are so many papers that do point towards nothing creating the Big Bang.
Okay. I've actually spoken to physicists and I've asked them this and they told me no, that's not the case. There's no such thing as nothing.
Okay, then how did the Big Bang get created?
No one knows.
Okay, then I would say that we have more evidence pointing towards a shorter lifespan for Earth than a longer lifespan. Like if we're trying to get to like 3.4 billion years or whatever, I don't think there's science that proves that. I think that there's science that proves there's like a more of like a 6 to 10K life period for this universe.
How do you explain how do you explain starlight?
It travels at the speed of light.
Yeah, it travels at the speed of light, and we know that the light that's hitting us from millions of light years away. So if the light is hitting us from millions of light years away, how does that make the Earth 6,000 years old?
Good question. I could look at that later. But if this was, billions of years old, this universe, wouldn't we have a lot more supernovas? I mean, supernovas are more consistent. We can actually track supernovas. There was actually a good paper done by a bunch of scientists that were actually using that as an argument for creationism. There's not enough supernovas to suggest that we've been here for more than 10 million years.
Did it come from the Creation Science Institute?
No, it actually did not. No.
Discovery Institute?
No.
Which university?
Let me try to find it real quick here.
Because a lot of those so-called scientists who make those come from some sort of religious institute, so they're not really to be trusted, to tell you the truth. And not only that, like supernovas, yeah, they can be common, but it could be just the light that hasn't hit us yet. So, or the light did hit us and we just weren't around to see it.
Yeah, it looks like there's just not enough supernovas to even suggest that it's more than a few million years old, let alone billions.
It's not like supernovas are like super common. Like stars live for hundreds of millions of years. So
yeah, but they are consistent. We know that supernovas will happen every so often. Like we know, but like the light, we have to see the light first. Like a supernova could happen right now. We're not gonna see that light for another million years. Sure, but if we've already been here for like billions of years, we should see quite a few of them, wouldn't you say?
No, not necessarily.
I would definitely say so.
Yeah, because we could be living we could be alive at a time where supernovas just aren't common.
How often do supernovas happen? Because when I checked last, it was very consistent.
I'm not saying that we can't consistently see supernovas. We can consistently see them, but like it's not like we're gonna like the last supernova that was seen from Earth, I think was like 6,000 years ago. Like these are events that happen, over the course of millions of years. We're not gonna see them all the time.
Yes, but we should still see the after effects of them. It looks like a supernova occurs roughly once every few centuries, and they always leave a trace. You can always find them.
Yeah, sure.
So if we were here for billions of years ago, we would see a crazy ton of supernovas.
But we weren't here billions of years ago. Humanity is only like what?
That's why I'm saying
recorded history of humanity is only like about 10,000 years, and humanity before that existed for probably like another 100,000, where there was literally nothing recorded.
Yeah, if you believe in that. Yeah, I mean, my thing is we would still be seeing traces of supernovas, and we just don't. So that would just be one of my.
But even if that was I'll have to look that up. But even if that was the case, so what? That doesn't say anything.
Well, it does point towards a shorter universe, like a shorter lifespan of the universe.
It doesn't, because it wouldn't explain how the latest or the I'm not sure if the latest or earliest, or the earliest light we see is billions of light years away.
Okay, so if we have a constant, which is supernovas happen every couple centuries, and that's consistent, and we can see traces of supernovas for a very, very long time, but we can't see enough supernovas to, we see enough to constitute, a few thousand years old. We cannot see enough to constitute billions of years old. That's my argument.
But that doesn't explain starlight. We still see starlight from billions of years ago.
Okay, I don't really know how that's. If you can explain that a little bit more, maybe I can
The
'Cause, like,
earliest
I
starlight
don't
that we
see an
see,
issue with that argument.
right? The earliest starlight that we see, even from the James Webb Telescope, is billions of years ago. Like when we calculate the parallax, it's billions and billions of years. It's not millions or even thousands. It's billions of years back.
I don't know how we would get to that number. How would
The
we
way
get
that
to
we
that?
get to that number is because we know we know how fast that light travels in a vacuum, right? If we know how fast light travels in a vacuum,
It's
we can use
consistent.
parallax to calculate how far back the light goes.
I mean, maybe. I mean, then you have to know it is a constant rate. We can't prove that.
Yeah, we can.
We just don't.
Yeah, we can just go. You have to go to a physicist and they can explain it to you. Go to talk to a cosmologist and they can explain it.
I've talked to a few at the university I used to go to, and I just couldn't get a clear answer on that. But I could definitely do more research. Okay, other than the stars, I kind of brought up supernovas, and then you brought up stars, the starlight. What's another piece of evidence that you have that points towards evolution rather than creationism?
Morphology, our bodies.
Okay, are we talking about like microevolution or macroevolution? Because we don't really have proof on macroevolution, do we?
Those are both the same thing.
I would disagree, but
What is macro?
macro would be changes over billions of years that directly change the species or
We see that.
kind of
We see that.
animal.
We see that.
Well, yeah, we see that in microevolution. We see
No, we
minor
see that in
changes over periods
paleo.
of time.
Like what do you think about the fossil record? Do you think the fossil record is all fake?
No, I mean the fossils are definitely real. We do see we see so many instances where fossils were manipulated so that
No, we
scientists
don't.
could get money. Yeah,
No, we don't. No, we don't.
So many bones were actually changed. Like for example, the T Rex. When they first saw the T Rex bones, they actually elongated the arms and made it into something different. Like
When was this?
They did this with so many other. Let me pull up an article real quick. I'm just going off memory. One moment. And then they also. Did
I'm
that
not gonna
with,
say there's never. I'm not gonna say there's never been a mistake in science. Scientists have made mistakes, but that doesn't mean the entire field is just faking stuff.
No, I mean, to get to the bigger point, I don't have I don't have a problem with the fossil record.
All right, so the fossil record shows macroevolution over millions of years, like we see it with whales, where we see with whales where the nose start in the front, and as they go more into the sea, the snot goes back and back and back until we see what whales are today.
Yeah, I've never seen a whale turn into anything other than a whale, though. Have you?
Yeah, whales used to be land mammals, and we see that in their bones and in their genes as well.
We've never seen a whale walk on land in history.
Of course, we've never seen a whale walk on land because they're sea animals now, but we know they used to be land animals because of the way that their bones are shaped.
I have not seen any kind of proof for that. Can you?
Okay.
Can you show
Yeah.
that to me?
You may need to go on talkorigins.org or speak to a few like marine biologists
Like,
or
when you say speak to somebody, that doesn't help your argument. You know that, right? I'm sure. I'm
okay.
asking
So
you
that
for
hold
some
on. Oh,
evidence.
wait. You want me to be an expert in marine biology and paleontology and cosmology?
No, I want you to pull up some article or something or some kind of
Yeah,
document that I can go
talkorigins.org. It's
over.
all on there.
Like, well, what I'm asking for you is to back it up. It's saying,
I
oh,
told
this
you
showed up in here, it doesn't back up
talkorigins
the argument.
talkorigins.org has all the papers where you can read on this.
Yeah, so go ahead and pull one up about whales. Then it's just to back up your argument. I
I'm
mean,
not gonna be able to
wanna
pull
learn.
it up right now and give it to you. Like you can't see. Like I don't have that ability. Like TikTok doesn't have that yet. Like we can't unless you have TikTok Studio. We can't just pull stuff up.
Oh, I've seen that with other lives. Okay.
Yeah, I know that's because they're using TikTok Studio. I'm not using TikTok Studio.
Oh, I didn't know there was a difference. I'm sorry. Okay. My argument is we just haven't seen whales turn into anything other than whales. You know, like when it comes to
But we have.
macroevolution,
But you
like,
you
we're
said that
talking
you
about.
right. But you said that you agree with the fossil record. The fossil record shows that they went from the land to the sea.
No, I
So
see
now
a
you
bunch
doubt
of.
the fossil record?
No, I see Charles Darwin and a bunch of other, scientists having a big imagination.
All right, hold on. But it's not a big imagination. You said that you have no problem with the fossil record. The fossil record shows exactly what I'm saying. Now you do doubt the fossil record?
No, I have no problem with the fossil record.
Okay, so the fossil record shows
Thing
that
is,
whales
like,
went from the fossil record shows that whales went from land animals to sea animals.
went from land to sea animals.
Yeah, type it in right now. Fossil record shows whales went from land to sea. Yeah, the Google AI pulls it up, and so does the evolution of whales from land to sea and Noble magazine. Is that what you got?
No, I went to berkeley.edu to look at the actual fossils.
Yeah, and they're showing you the fossils, and like yeah. As a matter of fact, yeah, Google pulls up the fossils too, and they're citing Berkeley.
That is a big if, man. Skeletons
That's the
are
fossil
so-
record. You say you don't doubt the fossil record, bro.
No, I'm
I don't know. You
looking
can't
right
say
now.
that you have no problem with the fossil record, and then when the fossil record actually shows what I'm saying, you have problems with the fossil record. Like that's
Well, no, it's because the assumptions that this was a whale. That's what I'm having an issue
they're
with.
not assuming it though, man. Like the morphology
looking
shows that that's what it is, and
I'm looking
they
at
they
the
can.
So I'm looking at the fossils. They're called Pecicetus and Ambulocetus, and one definitely looks like a whale. The other looks like just a big dog. I mean,
Yeah, that's how
might have-
evolution works. Small changes over time eventually change the species.
no,
That's how that
think
works.
I think these are just assumptions, man. I mean, I see the nose thing.
Okay,
I
you
do
think they're
see
just
that.
assumptions. So let me ask you: are you a paleontologist or like a marine biologist or anything like
No,
that?
I
Or
don't think I have to be one to have a valid argument. No.
yeah, you do, because if you're not a paleontologist, how can you say that this is wrong?
That's a fallacy. I'm sorry.
Wait, okay, it's not a fallacy. Okay, so you're saying that a person who does roofs is gonna know more about the heart than a cardiologist?
No, I'm saying you might have to have a really good imagination to say that
Why
this
though?
bone
Why?
links to that link.
Okay, well, hold on. Why are you saying that though? Like, what evidence do you have that they're wrong about it?
It's more just logical. Like, okay, if you're looking at these fossils, right? We see one
All right.
that's definitely a whale. Wait, let me just.
But
finish this real
Poseidon,
quick.
that's an argument for
just gonna-
incredulity. You're just saying that because I don't understand how they got here, it must be wrong.
No.
That's a
not what I'm
fallacy.
saying at all. What I'm saying is, we have, according to Berkeley, we have a couple different fossils set up. Right, one definitely looks like a whale. The other one doesn't look like a whale. There's no link to this, though. That's the thing. What I'm getting at. I don't have.
How do you
record,
know
but
that,
there's
though?
no link.
Right,
There's
but
an
what I'm
imagination
hold on,
that links that.
Poseidon, slow down. Listen to what I'm asking. How do you know that? Because you're not a paleontologist,
Because we don't see any links between these two.
but you don't know that.
I mean, you're looking for evidence, and you're.
All right,
what-
you're saying that there's no link between these two. How do you know there's no link between these two? Did you do the paleontological research? Did you see the genetic research? Did you see the morphological research? Do you understand how these things evolve? Like how are you saying that? You're just looking at pictures and say, oh, there's no link. That's
Because
personal
I just-
incredulity, bro.
I literally have the article pulled up from Berkeley, and I'm looking at it.
I understand that
It
you're
does
looking
show
at
the
it.
noses.
You
That
can-
does prove microevolution.
You
but it
can
does
you
not
can
prove
you can you can
macroevolution.
look at something and still not understand it.
Sure.
Okay, so what I'm saying is that how can you say this is wrong and you don't even understand it? You can go to one of the universities of Berkeley and say, "Can you explain this to me because I'm not getting it?" But to say that, oh, they're just using their imagination, they must be lying. That's stupid.
No, I'm saying that there are not enough. There's not enough evidence to conclude that. Well,
So then, how do you explain the fossil record? Then how do you explain it? You're saying that they're just making stuff up with the fossil record.
No, I feel like a big flood killed a bunch of animals at the same time.
There's no evidence of the flood.
I would say there is. The Grand Canyon is a great example of that.
The Grand Canyon was made over millions of years, and geologists prove that.
Scientists actually prove a very quick time.
No, they haven't. No, they
years.
haven't. No, they
It
haven't.
actually,
No, they haven't.
the
No, they
Grand
haven't.
Canyon. If
No,
you
they
look at
haven't.
it,
No geologist has said that. No, they haven't.
They actually.
I've
have
I've spoken to
one of-
Christian geologists who said that's wrong. No, they haven't.
That is okay. Then how do you
Cap.
explain?
I know you capping. I know you capping.
I'm-
The Colorado River is what did that. The Colorado River is what created the Grand Canyon, not the flood.
dude. No.
Yes.
Then how would you explain?
All right,
it's
I'm
like
gonna
a
go ahead and
hill.
move on, Poseidon. I appreciate you being here. The Grand Canyon is explained by the Colorado River cutting through rock over millions of years. That's how rivers work. All right, Isaac, how's it going?
Hey, it's going pretty good, man. What about you?
I'm all right. I think you're a friendly of mine, right? I'm not sure if I saw that in the comments.
Oh, no. So I am in disagreement with you on a couple things.
All right, sure. I could go ahead and put another 10 minutes on the clock. What you got for me?
Okay, so first of all, how's my mic? Is the background noise bad?
No, the background is better. Hey, W for reaching my goal. I appreciate you, Jonesy. I'm gonna go ahead and put another goal up. I appreciate y'all. We're gonna go ahead and put another goal up. All right. Yeah. So you're over 18, Isaac, and you disagree with something I have on the board.
Yes, sir.
All right. Cool. Give me 1 second. I just gotta set up another goal. All righty. All right. New goal set up. All right. What do you disagree with?
Okay, so mainly 2 points. So I think, well, it's kind of 1.5. So I think for morals to be like true and absolute, I do think God is necessary, and I do agree with evolution, but I do think there is some evidence for creationism as well, but not like outright creationism. I kind of lean towards a biblically guided evolution.
Okay. When you say for morals to be absolute, what do you mean? Because morals don't have to be absolute in order for morals to exist.
Okay, so I guess what I'm saying is moral relativism is what you would have to adhere to if you don't believe in a God.
Yeah, all morals are relative, even if you do believe in a God.
So so you do think all morals are relative, even if you do believe in a God?
Yeah, even if we were to say that your God exists, it would still be relative.
How so?
Because are you talking about the Christian God?
Yes, yes.
All right. Are things wrong because Yahweh says they're wrong, or are they wrong regardless of what he says?
My understanding, and I'm not trying to run around, I know it should be a yes or no. I would say this is the best way I can understand it. So my understanding of it is God knows what is wrong or right. Like he could just say arbitrary things like this is wrong or this is right, but God in his infinite wisdom, infinite knowledge knows what is wrong or right. So what he says is wrong or right is wrong or right. So yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so whatever God says is wrong or right, that makes morality completely arbitrary. They're subject to him.
If God is truth, if what God says is true, then that means that is an objective truth.
Okay, so so the truth depends on whatever God says. That means that the truth is subject to God.
Well, you got to if God's word is truth, like the Bible says, that means that is objective. It means it is the truth of the universe.
Right. What I'm saying is that if whatever God says is true, that
Yes.
literally makes the truth subjective because it's subject to God. Whatever God says is what the truth is.
If God is
That's
objective,
subjective.
if God is objective, his word is objective. It's not subjective.
So that means things are mind. So that means the truth is not mind dependent.
What does that mean?
That means that what is not dependent on on God's mind. It's true whatever God believes or whatever God says.
Well, if God dictates that it is true and God is the truth of the universe, like the Bible says, I'm not trying to do the preach thing, but it does say that he's the truth and his word is the truth. If that is true and God does know all, that means he is correct on it, and that means it is true.
Okay, so it's so that means that so the truth is objective and it doesn't depend on God then.
The truth is objective because it comes from God, is what I'm saying.
So does it depend on God or does it not depend on God?
It depends on God. You're going to say that's subjective though, but it's
That's
not.
subjective.
God is objective.
All right, if it depends on God, then it's subjective because without him it goes away.
Not okay. Yeah, without him it goes away, but two things
So it's
can be
completely subjective.
It's not mutually exclusive because we're looking at this from a purely human standpoint, from a purely human understanding. Two things can be true. The truth can depend on God. If God is the truth, if God knows everything, his word is truth, then that means it is not subjective. It is objective, and it is what God has said.
Okay, but if God goes away and the truth goes away with him, then that means it's subject to him.
No, if God goes away and the truth goes away with it, that means it is subjective without him.
Yeah, it is subjective with whether or not he exists because it goes away.
No, it is objective.
It's subjective because you just admitted that if God goes away, so does the truth. So that makes, or so does morals. That makes it subjective because it
No.
depends on God.
I said without God, morals are. What I'm trying to say is without God, morals are a created thing by humans, and no one would be right or wrong.
And I'm saying that even with God, morals will still be created because, as you already said, it depends on Him.
But if he is the creator of the universe, if he knows everything that's true, if he knows all this and he knows what is right or wrong, then that is objective. He dictates reality, so that would be objective.
If He dictates reality, that by definition makes it subjective.
The painter is not bound by the rules of the painting, so it's objective to him. His painting is objective. It's not subjective. What he feels or thinks about it would be, I suppose, but what he does to that painting is objective.
What he does to the painting is objective, but he's still a subjective agent.
What does that mean, a subjective agent?
God can do whatever He wants, right?
Well, he can't sin because he's righteous and holy.
Oh, okay. So He is bound by rules. That makes it even worse. He's subjective.
Well, I'm not going to say, so you're kind of, or either I didn't articulate it well or you just didn't understand what I was trying to say. I did say God cannot sin, but it's not God limiting himself. It's within his nature. If the truth is God is righteous, God is holy, then he's going to be without sin. He's not going to sin or else he'd be a liar, and he's not a liar.
Actually, He has lied before in the Bible.
Name one.
Oh, yeah, sure. Give me 1 second. Oh, actually, yeah, I can name one off the top of my head. When He said that Adam and Eve would. Hold on.
All right. And would you give me time to pull up stuff as well?
Yeah, no, I just have to fix my phone. Yeah, when He said that that Adam and Eve would pass away the same day that they ate the forbidden fruit, that they didn't.
He didn't say the same. Do you have the specific verse? I know what you're referencing. He didn't say the specific day, but I need the specific verse.
He said in this very day. And in the
it's
in
in
the
Genesis,
Hebrew,
right?
yes, in Genesis, and in the original Hebrew manuscripts, I think that pass away verse. I can't say die on TikTok, but that when he said pass away, they were using the word for physical pass away, not spiritual.
Okay, give me 1 second to pull that up. I'm trying to see the proper verse. That is a common thing that people bring up, and no, it is not. I haven't got it pulled up yet, but off memory, he does not say you're going to die this day. He says if you eat from that tree, you will surely die. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
What was that?
And did they die?
They did die. It didn't say that day.
Give me a second. Let me pull this up.
All right.
All right, which translation?
I guess just make it something simple. It's up to you.
Well, yeah, different translations get different translations say different things. So for the English Standard Version says in that day, the NIV doesn't. The King James Version says in that day. The New King James Version says in that day. The New American Standard say in that day. So it depends on which translation that you're reading. Which translation do you believe? So you believe the one that says that doesn't say in that day, or do you think the King James Version is the right one, or the other one is the right one?
I'm not really particular in translations. I think that overall most of them are typically correct, and that some things like that don't matter. But is it not possible? Because this is not something I was the most familiar with. But day is referenced a lot in the Bible, and it typically refers to time period, like when it talks about like Jesus, it talks about like in that day you will be with the Messiah, right? So is he meaning literal day as in 24-hour period, or is he saying in that day as in after the time you have ate from that tree you will die? That's what I've always thought it's talking about.
24-hour period. That's the word that they used.
Does it explicitly say that they use 24-hour period?
You have to go to like you have to go to the Hebrew. I'm not a biblical scholar, so that's the point where I'm gonna have to refer to you to a biblical scholar. But according to them, then yeah, they're talking about the 24-hour period, not a period day, because of the way that the grammar works in ancient Hebrew. The way that the
Okay.
grammar works in ancient Hebrew, they're talking about that day. They're not talking about like a period of time.
Okay, I'm gonna look that up real quick. I'm trying to pull up this the ancient Hebrew with it. Give me 1 second. I'm looking at it right now. I got it. I got that pulled up. Let's see here. I'm looking for the part where it shows the definition. Let's see. Right here on Hebrew parse.htm, it says, let's see, it's obviously conjunction of speech. It says it is referring to day, but also like period of time. That's what it says here.
Where? Which one?
Let me find it again. Well, now it's lost. Give me a second, man. I'm trying to find it again. And just showing plural. Now it's not showing it. Give me a second.
No, don't worry about it. We could just move on to something else. What else did you
Okay.
disagree with?
So let's see, what was it? Oh, evolution. I agree evolution has evidence, but I think that I think it leans more towards a biblically guided evolution, not necessarily like a creationism as in like they all just spawn there, but like I do believe that God guided the evolutionary process.
How will we show that to be true?
So let me pull this up. I did pull this up in notes just a second ago. If it would scroll up, it was my justification is the Cambrian explosion. If I can get my notes on that pulled up.
The Cambrian explosion, though, doesn't really prove anything. It's not just things popping into existence. It's just the Cambrian explosion. It was a course of over like millions and millions of years. So
Yeah.
it's not just like a short time period of like 100 or so years and things just pop up.
Oh no, absolutely, and that's another thing. I don't know what your thoughts on it are, but so I don't think it's mutually exclusive. Like a lot of people think all Christians. I'm not saying this is what you think. I'm just trying to explain this. A lot of people think we all think like we're all short Earth creationists. We all think the Earth is like 6,000 years old. We all don't think that. I think it's not mutually exclusive. I think God could create the Earth, and it could be 4 billion years old.
All right, cool.
So
I don't have beef with that.
Okay, so but with the Cambrian explosion, it does talk about how there are giant gaps, right? So we have fossils from before it, and we have fossils during and after it. But it talks about how there are a whole lot lost. So and it also talks about, I don't remember the exact number on it, so you're gonna have to take this with a grain of salt. But I think it's like 60 to 75% of all modern animal species appeared in their modern form or very close to their modern form during the Cambrian explosion. So I think, obviously this is just my personal conclusion from it, but I think that could be a testament to God creating all the animals or guiding, their evolutionary process.
Or yeah, it could just be that over the course of millions of years, we lost a lot of the fossils.
True, but also at the same time, there's never been in any other period of the entire history of the Earth, there's never been as big a gap in the fossil records with no fossils recovered for 60 to 70% of the animal species, that we also have no way of getting those missing links. If we had those missing links, obviously that would completely support your claim. Now, we don't have them. That doesn't necessarily mean I'm right, but I'm saying that those gaps in explanation and also the short period over which they occurred, it was millions of years, but for the grand scheme of things, especially like with the small animal going into the well, a couple million years is not that long of a time. Like with that well, that animal going to the well, they said that was like 60 million years. The Cambrian explosion wasn't that long.
Yeah, I mean, the Cambrian explosion wasn't that long, which is why they call it an explosion. There were a lot of niches going on, and I think there wasn't an extinction event like right before it, right? So it's like, yeah, that's kind of what we'd expect to see after an extinction event. We would expect to see a lot of species pop up, but like having that gap and even a big gap, I don't think it shows much of anything. It just shows that there's lots of fossils that we don't have yet. And someone even mentioned in the comments, a lot of those animals weren't in any type of modern or final form. They were just way different. They're still way different from what we have today.
Oh yeah, okay. So I might have misspoke earlier. I didn't mean that they were literally like final form, but they appear most. I don't know how to say this. They appear most closely on the fossil record from that point on at the Cambrian explosion to what they are today. If that makes sense, I don't know if I said that well. Barring
No,
like a deer killed like 3 years ago, you know what I'm saying?
I think that's what you're saying. All right, now we are out of time, Isaac. I do appreciate you being up here, though.
Okay, can I say one more thing?
Sure.
Okay, I appreciate the conversation, brother. Have a blessed night, man.
You as well. All right, MK, you there? MK, are you there? Yo, MK, are you there? All right, I don't think MK is there. I might move on to another person. Before we do that, y'all, we got 4.8K likes here and 34 people in the building. I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate everyone who's watching me on TikTok, everyone who's watching me on who's watching me? There we go. Everyone watching me on YouTube, and if you're watching me on Twitch, I appreciate you there as well. If you don't follow my YouTube yet, my YouTube is the same as my handle here is Volsey Thoughts. We have a second page called the Black Atheist Coalition. You can go there on there. You can go on there as well and watch. Subscribe to the Black Atheist Coalition. Subscribe to my YouTube Volsey Thoughts. I will be uploading all of these. The full lives are all uploaded, but I'm also going to be uploading clips and everything like that on there. MK, you back yet? I don't know what happened to MK, but I'm going to go ahead and drop, and we're going to go ahead and move on to the next person, keep it rolling. All right, y'all. I appreciate everyone here being up. I've run out of guests for now. We're going to go ahead and wait for more guests to come up. Hey, Tahir, I appreciate you, Tahir. I appreciate you, Tahir. I appreciate you, Tahir. I'm still trying to grow my YouTube, y'all. So if y'all would like to donate and to make this show better, in order for me to get better equipment, in order for me to go stream longer and everything like that, go ahead and subscribe. Y'all saw some of the emojis that were being dropped by my mod. If you like some of those emojis, go ahead and subscribe. It's only $2.99 a month, y'all. Please subscribe. Please support your boy. I appreciate y'all. I'm gonna be here for a few more minutes. I'm just waiting to see if we get any more guests. If we don't get any more guests, I'm gonna go ahead and pop out of here early, or I may switch the subject up. We'll see what happens. If I don't get any more guests, I may matter of fact, I just might do a reset if I don't get any more guests. Hey, I appreciate that, Issa. Appreciate that. Thank you so much, Issa. Thank you so much for the gifts. If we don't get any more guests in the next few minutes, I think I'll reset it. All right, Chris, part 5.
Hey, how's it going, boss?
I'm all right.
Okay.
I'm keeping track of these. All right, man. Part 5. How's it going?
All right, pretty good. I was listening to that last conversation about the Garden of Eden, right?
Mhm.
And I think it is allegory, right? But like in scripture, what does it say the fruit would unalive them, or the fruit was actually bad?
It doesn't say the fruit was bad. It just says Yahweh says to them that if when they eat of it, they're gonna die.
Okay, and like, but if you look at that language, it is an idiom. It's just that the sentence was given at that point. Like,
Mm-hmm.
so even if they did live so many years after it, it was just that they lost access to the tree of life, so they couldn't live forever after that.
What does it imply that they're actually gonna live forever anyway?
If they had access to the tree of life, they would have been able to have like I think this is more of an exegesis on my side, but I think that the tree of life is the knowledge that they needed to live forever. Like if they would have ate that fruit, they would have had access to the technology and things like that that could make them live long, alleviate suffering and things like that. But since they ate the other tree, all they get was knowledge of consequences and pain and suffering. You get what I'm saying? They got knowledge, but it was just the knowledge of pain and suffering. It wasn't knowledge that they needed.
Yeah, that That whole story sounds silly. Yeah,
Like,
that just sounds silly. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I get what you're getting at. That it just sounds silly. Like what's the point of that?
what was the point of him setting boundaries? Like your parents set boundaries with you, right? Or I don't know, like, but my
Yeah,
parents set boundaries with me. So like
yeah. Of
he
course,
could
well, parents
say,
are gonna. Yeah, of course, parents are gonna set boundaries, but he knows everything already.
like I mean, but it's still like they still had the choice. Like they're making their choices within time. So even though it might not be a choice to God, it's a choice to them though. They still had to make that decision.
Right, but what I'm saying is that he knew they were gonna make that decision already because he knows everything.
Like
Right, that's what I mean. Like if God knows everything, like this is if we give God all the omni properties of all knowing and all powerful. If he's all knowing, he knows they're gonna do it anyway. So
yeah, but like I don't see how it would make them not responsible for their actions.
it will make God's entire exercise in creating the universe and putting the tree in the Garden of Eden and all that. It'll make it completely fruitless and not like nonsense. Like what? Why? You already know what's gonna happen. What's the point of being angry at them at something that you knew was gonna happen?
Where does it say he was angry?
He wasn't angry with Adam and Eve. If he wasn't angry with them, what's the point of cursing them then?
What do you mean? Like actions have consequences though. So
Yeah, I agree
like
that actions have consequences. Yeah, sure, but like the thing is, like he knows everything, so he knew all this was gonna happen in the the trillions of years before all this that he was existing. He already knew all this was gonna happen. So it's like, what's the point of that? Like I
okay,
just don't get his point.
and that's understandable, right? But like, let me make a specific example,
Yeah,
right?
and it's not exactly free will either because if he knew it was gonna happen, they had to have done it because if they didn't do it, he'll be wrong, and an all-knowing God can't be wrong. So it's like they had no choice but to do it.
I disagree with that. Like as far as I don't agree with free will in general, but I disagree with that assessment. Like knowledge is not causative in that sense. Knowledge doesn't cause you to do something. Even
So
though
he
if they would have made another choice, he would have knew that as well. You get what I'm saying? Like even if they did, like he knows all possibilities and all like outcomes and actualities. It's just that because he has an intimate knowledge of them, he knows what they're going to do, or he sees them making the action at the point when they make the actions.
all right. So
He,
God doesn't know everything.
he knows everything. Like he's just there. He's omnipresent. So omnipresent implies to time too. So
All
he's
right.
there when they're making the decision.
So he's there when they're making the decision, and he knows that they're going to make that decision before they actually make it.
Not before. He knows the decision when they make it. Like you're putting before and after in it, but God is present when the said decision is made.
All
That's
right.
how he
So
knows because he's there. It's
all
not
right. So
because
he's
before. It's like you're putting in a sequence of time. It's not within the sequence of time. God is atemporal,
okay.
in
So
my view.
God doesn't know everything then. He only knows when you do it. He doesn't know when you went before it.
Like, mm, I wouldn't agree with that assessment. Like,
All right. So God does know what they're gonna do before they do it.
because I think that puts God within the sequence of time, and we
Okay.
gotta.
And he's not within a sequence of time, so it's like he's atemporal, so
He's
he's
in the
everywhere
eternal
within
now.
time and he's everywhere
Eternal
within
now.
time basically. Like all time God is there and he's everything in time.
Yes. Like,
So
like,
he's there before they make the decision, during they make the decision, and after they make the decision, he's there.
yes.
Okay, cool. So, but does he know before they make the decision, during and after they make the decision? Like he's there before, during, and after the decision, but does he know that he's that before, during, and after the decision? Like this, or that's not
You saying
his frame.
the decision isn't determined is what I'm saying.
All right, decision isn't determined, and he doesn't know they're gonna make it
No.
until
I'm
they
just saying
actually
it's
make
not
it.
determined. He knows. It's like if you have kids, you know what one kid will do and what another kid will do, right?
Hmm.
So you can kind of find a predict it or judge it. So like
Yeah, we
when
can
they
make a
say
very. I agree that we can make a very good prediction, but we don't necessarily know 100% because we could be wrong. Like I could think my son is gonna touch the stove, but I could be wrong. He could listen to me and not touch the stove, right?
exactly, that's exactly the same thing I'm trying to say. Like we could technically surprise God, but the chances of that is so infinitesimally small. It's not zero, but it might as well be zero because he knows so much so far.
Okay, so he doesn't know everything then, because if we could surprise him, he doesn't know everything.
But the probability, like, but you have to consider the probability of it, like, as far as the
All right,
chances.
all right,
But
cool. Not a problem. Let me see. I don't think anyone else is up. Let me invite MK one more time because MK was here before, and I don't know. I think his phone went off. But all right, Chris. Not a problem. That's something interesting to think about. But I appreciate you.
all right, have a good night, boss.
You too. All right, y'all. If we don't get any more guests, I'm gonna hit a quick reset. Because we got 6.5K likes, 27 people in here. I do want to get more folks in here. JO1, I do see you in the likes. I appreciate you for liking and following. But I might hit a quick reset, all right, because I want to get some more people in here. So we'll see what's going to happen. If everyone who's watching on both the YouTubes, y'all go ahead and stay tuned because I'm gonna hit a quick reset. I'll be right back. All right. I appreciate you all. All right, y'all. Remember to follow. Hit that follow. Remember to hit that subscribe. I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna hit a reset. We'll be right back, y'all. Everyone who's watching me on YouTube, do not go anywhere. You're just gonna see. All right, y'all. I took a quick drink of water. Y'all go and start liking the live, start sharing, start liking the live, start sharing. Let's go ahead and get more guests in here. I appreciate y'all. Let's get more guests in here. I appreciate everyone who's watching me on YouTube right now. Everyone who's watching me on both the YouTube on my Falsy Thoughts channel, on my Black Atheist Coalition channel. I appreciate you all. All right, we're back at it. We're back at it. We're gonna go ahead and get back at it. And I appreciate you all being in here. Let's go ahead and get to 1K likes. Let's go ahead and get some guests in the box. If you disagree with anything I have on the board, go ahead and come on up and we can have a discussion. Disagree with anything I have on the board, go ahead and come on up and we can have a discussion. Shout out to my YouTube watchers. I see Tahir in the building. I see Cass in the building. I appreciate y'all. Shout out to you, Fadi. I appreciate you being here. Hey, Gregory, I put the link to join in the comments, but you didn't join. Not sure why not. All right, y'all. What's good, y'all? If you disagree with anything I have on the board, go ahead and come on up. Go ahead and hit that guest button, and we can have a discussion, and we can go ahead and talk. We can go ahead and talk and have a discussion. What's up with y'all? What's good? Kari, it's good to see you again. I see you in the audience. I appreciate you. Good to see you again. Evolving Seeds, what's good with you? Good to see you again. Follow Evolving Seeds, y'all. Great creator, great creator. Follow Evolving Seeds. Follow Kari. Great creator. Great to see y'all again. Y'all, don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Subscribe to my my YouTube, Volsy Thoughts. Subscribe to the Black Atheist Coalition on YouTube as well. And subscribe to me here on TikTok. To support me, it's only $2.99. I do have a goal. Help me get up to 10 subscribers here over on TikTok. I'm trying to build a Patreon. I'm going to build a Patreon soon. Once I build a Patreon, I'll have some levels where you guys can subscribe to that as well. I don't have the monetization to open up any type of shops or anything like that, but once I do, hey, the likes is going up on the Black Atheist Coalition. I appreciate that. I appreciate that as well. All right, y'all. So, I've never been on Mr. Jones Live. I don't think I've ever been on Mr. Jones Live. But Mr. Jones is dope. Mr. Jones is really dope. I appreciate his lives. I think I'll go on there. Probably go on there one day. Palestinian, free Palestine. I don't think there is perfect evidence that a God exists. If you do, go ahead and come on up. Go ahead and come on up. I went ahead and sent you an invite, and you can come on up and we can talk about it. All right. If anyone disagrees with anything I have on the board, please come on up and we could talk about it. I appreciate everybody being here. There's already 24 people in here, 900 likes. I appreciate that, y'all. Definitely appreciate that, y'all. But yeah, we could definitely go ahead and talk. I see some people who are joining that have a cross in their name. You know what I mean? I do see some people joining that have a cross in their name. All I need is a little faith. I'm not sure if you plan or what. I don't know if you plan or what, but you disagree with something I got on the board, go ahead and come on up. But if you being for real, come on up. What do I even call you? 7 sevens? Is that your name? 7 sevens? All right, welcome everybody. Welcome everybody. Welcome everybody who's joining. Welcome everybody who's joining and seeing the live. If you're just joining, seeing the live, if you disagree with something I have on the board, go ahead and come on up. I would love to talk to you. I'd love to have a discussion. We were having some fruitful debates the last time. We're having some very fruitful debates the last time. So if you would like to, if you disagree with something I have on the board, I definitely want to talk to you. And we could have a fruitful discussion, a fruitful debate. And I invite anyone who would love to talk about it. Yeah, I remember to only time will tell. Hopefully Jesus will give you another chance at the gates. I don't think the gates are real. Can you give me a reason to believe why they're real, Katie? I believed in God when I was younger. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. My dad is still a pastor, as a matter of fact. Chronic, go ahead and come on up. And Linda, you can go ahead and come on up too. What happens when you die? What's the meaning of your existence? The meaning of my existence is whatever I make it. I want to become a therapist, and I want to help my community, especially low-income people, those living in the hood, those living in the projects. I want to help them out with their emotional trauma and their PTSD and stuff like that. So that's my meaning. What happens when I die is nothing. I don't exist. The same thing. What happens when I die is the same thing that happens before I was born. I don't exist. How did my dad react? You know, how any black parents will react. Silly guy, how's it going? I appreciate you. What gets me through hard times is speaking to people. Thinking about what I'm gonna do, stuff like that. Beauty, how's it going?
It's going good. How are you?
I'm all right. Are you over 18 and you disagree with anything I have on the board?
I am over 18. And yeah, I do. I just want to get, because I am a Christian, I just wanted to like give your perspective on like just different things. Like, as far as like, have you ever like had like a personal like relationship with God instead of like a more of like a religious? Like, have you ever had like a personal relationship with him?
Yeah, I grew up in a Haitian Pentecostal church, so definitely that was drilled into us to have a personal relationship and to pray often, etc. So yeah, I think I believed what I had was a personal relationship, and that was like very, very important to me. It was part of my identity, and just as I grew up, I realized there was no reason for me to believe it.
Okay. So why do you feel like, like evolution and, all that stuff is like, to form the earth? Like, do you think that science and God can go together?
Yeah, sure, because there are plenty of Christian scientists. So yeah, and when I say Christian scientists, I don't mean the denomination Christian Science, because those guys are wacko. I mean like sure, there are plenty of scientists who are Christians and believe. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Someone asked me so in the comments.
Don't pay attention to the comments. Trust me.
Oh. Okay. I just wanted to come up and just ask you just some questions and stuff, and I might be back up later.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. All right. Thank you for having me on, though.
Not a problem. Appreciate you.
Mhm.
All right. For the person who said I had a filter on, it's not the filter. It's my ring cam. See, it's just the ring cam. But I don't like how this looks, so I got the ring cam on. Yeah, so it's not a filter. It's just a ring cam. All right, Yeshua, let's go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and bring you up, Yeshua. Like, I can't request Yeshua to come up. When Jesus comes, those Pentecostal will be the singing and running to the Lord. Well, that's not how you spell Pentecostal, but okay. All right, Phil, go ahead and request to come up because I can't bring you up. And Linda, I'm not sure if you're going to get the request, but if you do get the request, go ahead and come on up and talk. I don't like talking to the comments, y'all. I don't like talking to the comments. I'd rather y'all come up and actually speak to someone. Just like how Beauty came up, you see? I'm not I think a lot of people, like a lot of folks have gotten like a really bad taste of atheist lives because, there's always like some sort of argument and people yelling at each other and there's panels and stuff like that. I don't do all that. I'd rather talk to you one-on-one, you know what I mean, and have an actual clear conversation and discussion. All right, now I do see people coming on in. If you're coming on in and you're seeing this live, go ahead and stay here or either like it or go ahead and request to come on up because I do like talking to people. I do like hearing how people's head work and everything like that. And yeah, we could go ahead and have a clear discussion. Go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube, y'all. Shout out to everyone who's watching on my YouTube. Shout out to everyone who's watching over on the Black Atheist Coalition. Shout out to everyone who's watching over on my channel, Volsy Thoughts. Y'all are amazing, and I appreciate all the support. I appreciate that follow, silly guy. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe too, man. Don't forget to subscribe. I put on the lowest tier. It's only $2.99 a month. You know what I mean? $3, y'all. I know y'all got $3. Go and subscribe to me, please. I want to go ahead and expand these shows. I want to make them better. I am gonna set up a Patreon and probably a shop soon too. As soon as I'm able to get monetized, I'll go ahead and set up a Patreon and a shop, and we'll go ahead and have more of these talks. I want to have like I want to expand these shows. You know what I mean? I want to have like entire podcasts and have guests and all that good stuff. I want to do all that. Hopefully, I can one day. I want to have entire podcasts about these. You know what I mean? I want to have these type of discussions with different religion and religious people. Sharon, I appreciate that. I appreciate the follow. I appreciate that, Sharon. Tan, I appreciate the gifts, Tan. I appreciate those. All right, we got AZ coming up. Not even sure if I said that right.
Well,
AZ, how's it going? Am I saying that right?
Azzy.
Azzy, there we go. Are you over 18 and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
I am, and I don't necessarily disagree, but maybe I just want to see what you say about it and why you think that way.
Sure.
Specifically about the morality question, fourth question.
Yeah, sure.
So so are you trying to say he isn't necessary for morality, etc.? Are you saying that there can be objective morality without God, or are you just saying he isn't necessary to have a moral belief system?
Both. There are non-believers, there are atheists who do argue that there is objective morality even if God doesn't exist. I'm not sure of that argument. I just heard about it before, but like you will have to speak to one of them. But as far as myself, I believe that all morals are relative. Even if God were to exist, morals will still be relative.
What do you mean by relative?
I mean, they're subjective.
Oh, so you're not arguing that it can be objective.
Right, I'm not arguing that it can be objective. I argue that even if a God exists, it would still be subjective.
Oh, okay. Well, even if a God existed, it would be objective. Why?
Yeah, even if a God exists, it will still be subjective because, like, if moralities hinge on whatever that God says, then that means that morality is mind dependent. It depends on the mind of that God, which makes it subjective.
So, I'm going to speak particularly in a Christian worldview. I'm not Christian, but for the sake of the argument, I'm going to speak specifically for that religion for this conversation, right? So if Jesus specifically, or the Father, the Trinity, whatever, is the creator of the universe, how is it mind dependent if, under the assumption that he created everything, it would be up to his rule if what is wrong and what is not right?
You just explained how it's mind dependent because it's up to him. Something objective doesn't depend on minds.
But what I'm saying is, if he's all powerful, right, and he is real, he dictates what is right and wrong. He would dictate if it's mind dependent or not, since he is an omnipotent, all powerful God, and he's all just. So he would know what is ultimately right and wrong. No?
That's what makes it mind dependent. Like you're literally saying what I'm saying. Like he's the one who decides it. He's the arbiter. So if he's the arbiter of everything that's right or wrong, it's mind dependent. It depends on him. That makes it subjective.
Okay,
now,
so
if he's not the arbiter of right or wrong, then it's not dependent on him. Then it could be objective, but then we would have to question, where does it actually come from then, if it doesn't come from God?
So give me an example of something being objective.
The moon existing.
Because you can see it, right?
Yeah, we could. Yeah,
What are you basing that off of?
not only that we can see it, but if I didn't exist, would the moon still be there?
But I could also say that the moon isn't there. Like you're not basing that
Right.
off of anything.
You can say the moon. I understand that.
Right.
I was getting to that. You can say the moon isn't there, but is it objectively there?
No, not if I say it's not there. To me, it's not objectively there.
Yes, it is objectively there, even if you say that it's not.
if I say of my personal experience, something in me is telling me the moon isn't there, then it isn't there. I could say if I go just like flat earthers are saying that the earth is flat. You can't objectively prove that it's round because of off of my personal experience.
Yes, we can prove it's round because we can measure it. Measurements don't depend on what me and you think. Neither do shapes.
You can measure the moon.
We can measure, yes, we can measure the moon. We have instruments to measure the moon, like we have satellites. So you saying that the moon is not there, you would still be objectively wrong because all we have to do is go out at nighttime at the proper time and just look up at the sky. It's right there. If you said that's not actually the moon, it's just a big light. Okay, cool. Let's get on a rocket ship and boom, we can go there. Or we can just look through a telescope and say, hey, that's not a big light. It's actually rocks. And boom, it's there. So the moon, like something like the moon existing is not mind dependent. Or like reality being here, or this is a ball of water. It's not mind dependent. It is what it is. Now, things like morals, they are mind dependent because it depends on what we think is right or wrong.
Fair enough. What about mathematics? Would you say that mathematics are objective?
Kind of.
Do you think someone could argue that 1 + 1 = 3, or not even that equals 3, but that it doesn't equal 2?
Maybe, but like they would have to come up with an entirely different set of axioms that would they would have to come up with an entirely different set of axioms that would that actually work, because math is kind of invented instead of discovered. You know what I mean? So if 1 + 1 = 3, you would have to kind of come up with an axiom on how exactly do you explain 3? Because 3 is just, you know, an object, and an object. You know what I mean? That's what we call 3. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So like you would have to come up with a way to say an object and another object is still another object together with like you have to come up with an axiom for it. Yeah, I mean, and sure you can do that,
but you would have to create different terminology.
You would have to create different terminology that would actually work and make sense.
So let's say that they did create a different terminology. Would you say that math is objective? Like that made sense in that's fitting your criteria of what this different terminology would have to be.
Math at that point, if they would come up with some sort of terminology or axiom that would make 1 + 1 = 3, then math would just be.
I'm saying 1 + 1 if it's equal 2, that they can prove that it would equal 2, and they would somehow have this terminology that fits your criteria of being accurate.
Yeah, then math wouldn't really be objective.
Okay. What does the first question say again?
There's no good evidence for a God.
So what about the fine-tuning argument? What's your thoughts on that?
Give me a second. Sorry. All right. Yeah, fine-tuning it just explains that the universe has certain constants. It's basically it. Doesn't really say anything else.
You don't think that's a good argument? Do you think there's zero good arguments?
No, I don't think there's any good arguments, because the fine-tuning is just the constants of our universe. That doesn't mean like excuse me. The fine-tuning is just the constants of our universe. The scientists have already done math on this, and they found out that if you change some of those constants, you can still get a stable universe. So now this is the only universe that we have. We can't explore any other universe, of course, but like they've actually worked out some of the math on this. So they said that okay, if you change these constants a little bit around, you can still get a stable universe. Now we don't know if it exists, of course, but the math says we can still get some. Like the constants of our universe are just for our universe. It doesn't mean that it's impossible to have a universe without it.
So when people say if this little thing was off, our universe doesn't exist, that doesn't inherently mean everything would cease to exist. Just our universe wouldn't be here, is what you're saying.
It won't exist in a way that we understand it, but it doesn't mean that the universe won't exist at all.
It's a pretty good point. me see anything else. What's the second one?
Oh, the second one say faith isn't a reliable pathway to the truth.
I was laughing at something else. So when you say holy books are a claim
Mhm.
of God, are you speaking broadly to every single religion?
Yep.
So, like, again, I'm not any I'm not any religion, but
Understood.
like to argue for a certain religion, like Islam, for instance.
Sorry about that. My bad.
You
My
back?
phone was falling off the thing. But yeah, you said Prophet Muhammad?
Yeah, so I'm sure you're familiar with Prophet Muhammad. So it says God directly gave him the word of God, and if he's preaching directly from God and it's not like off of eyewitnesses passed down, like Christianity, for instance, how would that not be evidence under the assumption that that is true? Like, how do you refute that as a claim and not evidence?
Appreciate the follow, positive vibes. The way I refute that is asking a simple question. How do we know Muhammad's telling us the truth?
Well, I guess a Muslim would argue that.
He's telling the truth. But yeah, that's all good and well. But at the same time, if we would have took any claim from any book as being the truth, are we gonna take the Iliad as being true too? Because the Iliad says that in the Battle of Troy, Zeus and Apollo intervened on the side of Achilles. Do we believe Zeus and Apollo are real?
No.
Right. So, like Muhammad saying he was given this by God doesn't mean that is actually true.
Well,
He could just be high. You know what I mean? We don't know what he was doing in that cave.
I mean, yeah, but I'm saying that he was an illiterate guy, you know, couldn't read, and he like articulated a lot of things that. Sorry, excuse me. He
Yeah, sure.
articulated
I
things
could.
that a literate person couldn't read, and it was directly from God. So I'm saying under the Islam assumption, how would that not be evidence if it were true?
Because again, it's still just an assumption. If we're gonna take that story as true, we have to take every other story from the Bible, from any other religious tradition as true as well.
But
Like,
even with other religions, you can say even if that were to be true, that wouldn't be evidence. It would still be a claim. Just
right. That's why I'm saying they're all claims.
Can I just give you one verse from the Bible?
Give me a second, Adam. Let me finish up with Azzy first, and then I'll get to you next.
you can go ahead.
You can go ahead.
Yeah.
All right. Not a problem. Hey, I appreciate you being up here, Azzy. You're a great sport. All right.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. W for Azzy's in the chat. W for Azzy's in the chat, y'all. Great sport. All right.
W's.
Adam, give me 1 second. Dracon, I see you. I'm gonna bring you up next. That one, you know, I always bring you up. I'm gonna bring you up next. All right. Give me a few more moments, and I'm gonna talk to Adam. All right, y'all. 3.6K likes. We got 41 people in here. I appreciate everyone being in here. If you disagree with anything I have on the board, let's go ahead and come on up and have a talk. Shout out to everyone watching me on my YouTube, on the Black Atheist Coalition, and on Volsy Thoughts. I appreciate y'all. All right, Adam, you said you had a verse for me?
Yeah, from the Bible.
Yeah, sure. What's the verse?
Yeah, could you open up Galatians 37, chapter 18?
I should have known it would have been a troll. I should have known. All right. What does it say? What does it say? What is it?
Says a lot. It's
Oh,
jam-packed.
oh my goodness, Adam. All right, give me a second. All right, Adam Dracon, how's it going?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I'm all right. Are you over 18, and do you disagree with anything I have on the board?
Yeah, I'm 57.
All right, great. Adam, I appreciate you being up. All right, we'll talk.
No problem, man.
We'll go over Galatians another time. All right. I appreciate you. All right, y'all. W for Adam in the chat. Dracon, am I saying that right? Gotcha.
Hey, thank you,
Is it Dracon or Dracon?
Dracon. You said it right.
Dracon. All right, gotcha. All right, so you're
Yeah,
57. You disagree with something I have on the board. Go ahead, and talk to me. What's up?
yeah. I kind of got a question, right? Because I'm vibing with you, and I feel what you're saying. And thank you for letting me up.
Mhm.
And I'm following you, man. I feel you. Uh, the question I got is one of the age-old philosophers say, how can there be a Swiss watch without a creator to create that watch? The Swiss watch, you can take all the pieces out of a Swiss watch and throw it a million times, a billion times, 300 billion
Mhm.
times, and it's not going to create a Swiss watch.
Okay. I mean that's under the assumption that our because I think the analogy is trying to kind of make the analogy towards like Earth and nature and stuff like that. The reason why that analogy doesn't match up is because like we know that our Earth can make natural things through natural processes, and and a Swiss Army knife or anything like that, we know that they're not natural. You don't see Swiss Army knives just popping up in nature around. You know what I mean? But we do see trees popping up in nature. You see what I'm saying? So it's not really analogous to the same thing. Does that make sense? It kind of assumes that our Earth is designed for a purpose, and there's no evidence of that.
I, and also, I want to know, what do you think about Darwin's theory about the evolution of man from apes?
It's correct. Men are apes, and we can prove that through DNA and morphology.
So then I will have to ask, why are there not apes transitioning as we speak into humans?
Because that's not the like being a human is not the goal. Evolution has no goal. You know what I mean? There's no goal of evolution. We evolved according to our survival and our environment. Like our populations evolved that way for what's gonna help us to survive the most. Like there's no goal to reach us. We were just the most successful at, I guess, taking over the world, you can say.
So basically, what you're saying is the species that we call the Homo sapiens, and we just came to be, and we everything else got cut off. So there was no more evolution after we came to be humans.
Well, evolution still keeps going. Like we're not like a finished product. Like if we were to like if there was a a group of humans, let's say 100,000 humans move to Mars, you'll see like in probably 1,000 years they have different body types than humans on Earth do. You know what I mean? And probably after 100,000 years, the humans who lived on Mars and humans who lived on Earth probably can't crossbreed anymore. You see what I'm saying? So evolution still happens. It just depends on your environment, essentially.
So I mean, has our environment changed that much where apes no longer transitioning to be humans?
Like humans are apes. That's the thing. Humans are apes. The other apes, they're not done like evolving. It's just that they're in a certain environment now where this is conducive to their survival. If the environment of Earth changes, where like becoming more like us is conducive to their survival, that may happen. But like as of right now, what they're doing right now is what is helping them survive. As a matter of fact, I think there's some anthropologists who say that chimpanzees are probably going through a stone age right now because they're using tools and they're even going to war with other troops. So we have a lot of similarities with chimpanzees and bonobos. You know what I mean? So it's not like that everything is a finished product already. And we're not the goal of evolution. The only reason why we think of us as on top of the food chain is because of how successful we were. You know what I mean? But like we're not the goal. We like there's no goal for evolution.
Okay. Hey, brother. Well, hey, I appreciate your knowledge, man. I like what you're saying. I can feel you. I don't quite grasp everything. I guess I'm old school, but like I said, me personally, I would think that somewhere it would be an ape. Might not be but one or two of them that transition all the way to be a human. And we got documented evidence showing where this ape was actually, we got pictures of him like Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? We got a Bigfoot out here and he's actually, you know what I'm saying, like a human being walking around, but I don't think that exists.
Right, because again, we're not the goal of evolution. But I appreciate you being on, Dracon. You're wonderful. W for Dracon in the chat. All right, Razor, you said that I'm not an atheist. I'm just clips and sound bites. What exactly do you mean? I'm not sure what you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, if you have to announce that you're an atheist, you by definition are not an atheist. You're at best an agnostic. Basically, in a nutshell, what I have concluded is it's basically sound bites and clips. That's how quote unquote atheist deconstructionists. It's like you wearing a T-shirt and advertising Nike, even though you don't wear anything Nike outside of that shirt. You don't adhere to Nike's or their whole clothesline per se. You don't even wear. You're really more like a Reebok kind of guy or an Adidas kind of person. You're just doing it because it's just a shirt. It's just clips and sound bites. That's all it's for.
All right, Razor. Well, being an atheist simply means that you don't believe in a
Yes, I know
in a
what
God.
Yes, I'm aware.
All right.
I
So
know.
if
I
you're
know
aware
the
of
all
that,
phrases.
so if you're aware of that, me actually talking to other people about atheism and religion, that has nothing to do with what being an atheist is. Then you should know that. Then
Well, yeah, no. It's clear, cut, and dry. If you have to announce you're an atheist, then by definition you're breaking the laws of logic. All right.
that's
So
nonsense.
no, I mean, exactly.
No. I'm saying your claim is complete nonsense.
Okay. You made a claim that what I just said was nonsense.
It's nonsense. Yes.
Verify that nonsense.
But I contradict.
The fact that you claim to be an atheist, but yet
That's not contradicting
you
anything.
hold on, and I'm fixing to present evidence to you logically. You, by definition, claim to be an atheist, but yet you want to challenge someone else's belief that happens to be we'll just say a Judeo-Christian believer, right? You want to challenge their belief. Why and what is that purpose? You say that evolution, has no purpose, but actually it does have as a purpose. Survival of the fittest. Okay, if you yourself claim to be an atheist, you are lacking because 2,000 years we have on you. You just become to the Enlightenment period right around about 200 or 300 years ago. So you're
All
really
right.
lagging behind.
Hold on, Razor. You're mixing up several different things. First
No,
of
I'm
all,
not.
yes, you are. If you know that
You made a claim.
if you
Verify
know,
the claim.
I'm responding to it. If you know that being an atheist is simply not believing in a God, me announcing it and challenging other people's belief does not contradict that. That's
That's a
number one.
contradiction.
No, it's not a contradiction. How is it a
That's not a contradiction.
contradiction? How is it a contradiction to say, hey, I don't believe what you believe. Can you show me why I should believe what you believe? How is that a contradiction?
Because you're not asking me, because of your prompts. Faith is a reliable pathway to truth. How do you know that faith
Because
is not a pathway to truth?
the
Because
reason that
hold
the
on,
reason
hold
that I
on, because
know
I'm
is
fixing to
because the
present.
reason that I know the
I'm
reason
fixing to
that I know
demonstrate.
the
I'm
reason that I
demonstrating.
know the reason that I know the reason that I know is because you can have 100% faith in something and be wrong, so it's
Prove
not
that claim.
reliable.
Prove that claim.
The Greeks had faith in Zeus and they were wrong about
If we're
Zeus,
going to talk about Greeks, the Greek pantheon, let's talk about the Greek pantheon.
and they were
If
all
not,
wrong. None of them exist. None of the
oh,
pantheon exist, and the Greeks had faith in them, but they don't exist.
you know why they don't have faith in them?
They did have faith in them. They literally
No,
built
no, no, no.
temples
Do
to
you
them.
know the reasons? Okay, and I'm trying to explain to you. Do you know the reasons
Wait, hold on,
why?
no. I know the reason why. What
What
I'm
is the
saying is
reason
that
why?
the reason why is because they all converted. The reason,
Converted
but
to what?
they were. Hold on, Razor. Just a second here. If we can have a conversation, let's have a conversation. All right. Well, what I'm saying is that you challenge my second point. Faith is not a reliable pathway to truth. I just proved it. The ancient Greeks had all faith in their ancient pantheon, and they were not real. So you can have faith in something and be wrong. So it's not reliable.
Okay, so you said that they converted, but I'm asking you, but you obviously
They
dodged.
converted to Christianity, and we know why they
Hold on,
converted to
could you repeat that
Christianity
again? Could
because
you
of,
repeat that again?
they
Could you
converted to
repeat that one more time?
Christianity. They converted to Christianity because of Constantine. We know that already.
No, that's not because of Constantine.
Yeah, it was. Well,
No,
actually,
it wasn't.
Paul. It was actually because of Paul.
Okay,
Because
so
Paul set up a church in Corinth. Yeah, we know that.
okay, so that's my point. So obviously they were
So
introduced to
Paul,
something that
yeah,
was
they were introduced
verifiable.
to it. They were choose not. That doesn't make it verifiable.
That is
Just because you were
verifiable.
introduced to something doesn't make it verifiable.
Yeah, it kind of
No,
does.
it doesn't. Is
Okay, so
Islam
you,
is
okay,
Islam
let me ask you a
verifiable?
question. So
Is
let me ask you
Islam
a question.
verifiable?
kind of
No,
does.
it doesn't. Technically,
Okay.
yes and no. Is it or is it
Yeah, I
not,
mean
bro?
it's in the gray area, and the reason why I say it's in the gray
It's
area,
in a gray area.
okay, why don't you listen to my conclusion before you assume what I'm
Go
trying to
ahead. Go
say?
ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so basically you have three major religions. You have Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, right? Okay, so they're all intertwined. They're all interrelated, if you want to believe that or not. All right.
Yeah, they're descended from Abraham. I know.
Okay, so that's my point. Okay, so you're asking me if it's identifiable. Yes, it is identifiable. Do
I didn't
people
say that.
refer?
I said verifiable.
I'm sorry. I thought you said identify. Okay, verifiable. Okay, so it's verified. Those are the three main religions. Obviously, something triggered in somebody's mind. Hey, I want to follow that religion. Okay, that's verifiable. Okay,
It's
so and
not.
again, well, then you consider science a lie. Then
No, I don't, because science
actually,
actually presents.
neuroscience proves you 100% wrong, my dude.
No, no, it doesn't. What?
Actually, yes, it does. Do you
No,
know
no,
anything about
no, no, no. Hold,
neuroscience?
hold, let me finish. Let me finish. Just because someone is convinced by something doesn't mean that it's actually true.
Convincing is a poor choice of words.
Yeah, no, it's not a poor choice of words
It
because
really
you're
is.
saying no, it's not. Just because the church in Corinth was convinced that some dude rose from the dead, and a whole bunch of Arabs and Africans were convinced that Muhammad flew to the sky on a flying chariot, doesn't mean it actually happened.
Well, what you're doing is
They're not
you're equating two different religions at the same time.
they're not verifiable just because people believe them.
Well, no. They were demonstrated. See, that's just it. That was just it. They were demonstrated
No, they weren't.
through. Paul demonstrated. That's the reason why there was a conversion.
No, he did.
Well, you can sit there and say, "Oh no, you didn't," all you want. You are not backing your claim. I'm presenting verifiable evidence that
You
something
didn't.
triggered
You just said that
that.
he did it, and
Where's your
and I'm saying that
source?
he didn't.
Okay.
Is your source the Bible?
Is my source the Bible?
Yes.
Well, I mean,
Because that's
technically,
the claim,
no,
not
hold
the
on.
evidence.
No, hold on. The claim is the evidence,
No, it's
right?
not.
Okay.
No.
No, it's not.
I'm sorry this is hard for you to comprehend.
I'm
Okay.
sorry that
So
you're
is the
slow,
Bible
but the claim is not evidence.
okay? So the claim is evolution is not even been verifiable yet. But
Yeah, it
yet,
is verifiable. I can show how it is.
I could actually prove it in three dimensions. You want me to prove it in 3 dimensions? I can. Okay, for one, you have
Prove what in 3
bipolarity.
dimensions?
Well, I'm giving it to you. You have bipolarity, which is the existence of standing upright, 2 thumbs, and 3, guess what? If that were the case, if evolution were so true, you would not have basically relations with a coexisting partner to be able to produce children, because you would evolve from that species into something greater. We don't have anything in the fossil records that verifies that. If that's the case, I'm going to throw the Piltdown man to destroy that logic even farther.
The Piltdown man was a there was no Piltdown man. That's number one.
What was
The second
no,
thing,
it was to prove
the
evolution.
second
It
thing,
was
the
to prove
second, the
evolution.
second thing is no, it wasn't to prove evolution. There are several lines of evidence that prove evolution.
Yes, it does.
If you were no, it wasn't. If you're gonna
The laws
say
of
that, if you're gonna say that, if you're going to say that evolution is false, you would have to throw out all of genetics.
No, that's inaccurate.
That is
As a
accurate.
matter of fact,
Do we
if you
share
really want to prove
98% of our
if
DNA
you
with chimpanzees or
no,
not?
we don't. No, we do not.
Yeah, we do.
share
Yes,
our-
we do.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do.
If you go
Yes, we
to
do.
the most recent study,
Yes, we do.
if you go to 2022 recent study
Mhm.
that was recorded in Medical Science Journal, right? Okay,
Cite
we
your
share a
source.
common
Cite your
gene.
source.
I just told you medical.
That's not a
medical-
source.
Yes, it is.
No.
Hold on, wait, hold on, wait.
Medical
Everybody
journal
pause,
is a
everybody pause. 2022 study on what?
That we share a common. There is a Neanderthal gene within inside the human race. All right.
Yeah,
So
that
if
shows evolution.
That's
So
not
evolution? Yeah,
That's
it
not
is.
evolution. No, it's
Yeah, it
not.
is. Because
No, it isn't.
because the
That means some human had sex
Neanderthals were a human species, guy. The Neanderthal were a
what?
human species.
A
We're the
what?
last
What?
humans. The
A what?
Neanderthals were a human species.
A what species?
A human
Hominid.
species.
A
A
what?
hominid. My bad. A hominid species. They were a hominid
Okay,
species.
so there, no, it was a human species.
No,
of
they were a
some sort. Yes,
hominid
it was.
species.
No,
They
it
were a
wasn't.
hominid species.
Holy
That's why we
Jesus.
were
No,
able
it wasn't.
to breed. That's why
No,
we were
no.
able to breed with them. They were a hominid species. They were hominids.
Okay, so what is a hominid?
A hominid are like human-like creatures like us.
What kind of creature?
They're human-like.
Human-like. So if they're human-like, then that means they're 100% human.
Wrong.
Oh my
If they had, holy cow! If they had,
We're
the
Homo
same,
sapiens. We're
if they
human.
had the
Homo
same
neanderthalis. We're not
sexual
human. We're
organs,
human.
if they had the same sexual organs, my guy, if
Hold
they
on,
had the
hold
same
on, hold
sexual
on.
organs,
Razor. Hey, Razor. Hey, Razor. Hey, Razor. Razor. Let me ask you a question. Do Chihuahuas?
Arif and
Hold,
Ha.
hold on. Wait. Hold on. That one. Okay, Razor. Listen. Do Chihuahuas and Great Danes have the same sexual organs?
yes.
Are they the same breed?
Are they the same breed? No, you have two different breeds there.
That's what hominid species are.
No, that's
Neanderthals were a
not.
different
No, it's
breed
not.
of
It's
human.
still a canine. That's what you're missing. It's still a freaking canine. It doesn't matter if it's a freaking Chihuahua. It doesn't matter if it's a Great freaking Dane.
Because
It's
they're in the
still a
same
canine.
family, right? They're in the same family, right?
Exactly.
All right, but they're not the same species, are they?
Can they breed? Yes or no?
No. Great
Yes,
Danes
they
and
can.
Chihuahuas cannot breed.
Yes, they can.
A Great Dane and a Chihuahua could breed.
A female Great Dane can lay down for a male Chihuahua.
Can a pigeon and an ostrich breed?
Well, technically yes, but it has
No, they
artificial
can't.
insemination.
No, they
Arti-
can't.
Oh, artificial insemination? Are you serious?
An ostrich and a penguin cannot breed.
You didn't say anything about a penguin. You're swapping it. You said
No,
a
I said an
pigeon.
ostrich and a
No,
penguin.
you said a pigeon.
I said penguin.
You said pigeon.
No, I didn't. I said penguin.
Well, okay.
It
So if you want to be, if you
it
want to start
matters.
with a
What
president,
is
that's fine.
Durden's
An ostrich and a pigeon cannot breed either. An
You
ostrich
said
and a
artificial.
pigeon.
If you take
An
the
ostrich
seed
and a
of a
pigeon
male,
cannot
if you
breed.
take the sperm of
And
a
it would be
pigeon,
unviable. It would be
no, it would.
unviable. An
No,
ostrich
it
and a
would not.
pigeon cannot breed.
Yes, they can. If
No,
you
they
take,
cannot.
not in the traditional sense. If you take the semen of a male pigeon and insert it into a female ostrich, guess what? It's going to become a fertilized egg.
No,
Why?
it would not. It would not
Holy
fertilize.
cow! How do you know that?
Because there are different
Nuh-uh
species.
is all I'm hearing. All
They
I'm
are
hearing is
different
nuh-uh.
species. They are different
No, it's not. It's
species.
still in the bird
They are
species.
different. No, they are not.
Yes. Yes, they
An
are.
ostrich and a pigeon are different species. What are you talking about?
Okay, if they're different species, then what species are they?
Ostrich and pigeon.
No. That's not a species.
Yes, it is.
An ostrich is
An
a
ostrich
species.
is a species. A
What
pigeon
kind
is
of
a species.
Dude, you're very dense. I'm asking you again.
And you are very
What
stupid.
the irony of you saying that?
Yes, you are very, very stupid because bird is not a
Dude, you don't
species.
even know.
Bird is a family. Bird is not a species. It's a
actually
family.
foul. It's actually foul if you really want to get technical.
Yeah, if you want to get technical, because bird is not a species. It's a family. Ostrich and pigeon are species. Penguins are a species. Puffins are a species.
Okay,
Dodos are a species.
Okay. Okay, you got
Emus are a
You
species.
got you
Peacocks
got,
are a species.
You got Google close by?
I have it right in front of me.
Okay, then why don't you Google what the shit is instead of sitting there bumping your gums, dude?
Why don't
You're
you?
100%
Why don't
off.
you do? Why don't you do the same thing, you fucking idiot? Because bird is not a species. Bird is a family. Pigeons are not the same species as ostriches. They're completely different. They are not the same species. An ostrich and a pigeon cannot mate because they're two separate species. Pigeons live in North America. Ostriches live in Africa. They cannot breed. Peacocks cannot breed with emus. They're different species. Penguins and puffins cannot breed either, even though they're both Arctic birds. Puffins and penguins are Arctic birds, but they cannot breed with each other. My bad, Glitter, you're correct. Birds are a class. I was wrong about that. Birds are a
Yeah,
class.
Obviously, we
My
know
bad,
that.
sorry.
I was waiting for you to read. I was waiting for you to start because I was supposed to say that. I was waiting for you to shut your mouth long enough for me to say that. So the problem there
I'm
is
still waiting for you to be
wrong.
a smart person and actually Google this shit. You said birds
I
are a
already
species
said-
and they're
I
not.
already
Birds
did.
are not species, right?
I pointed out.
Birds
I
are not
pointed out-
species,
I
right?
pointed out the fact
Birds are
that
not
the fallacy
species, right? Birds are not
regards
species,
to-
right? Hey, stupid. Birds are not species, right? Birds are not species, right?
Class.
Yeah, they're
Get
class.
down
You
by
said
it.
there were species. You said there were species. They're not. You said a pigeon and an ostrich can breed because they're both birds. That is fucking stupid. That is
Obviously, you
stupid.
don't know
They
anything about
cannot
genetics.
breathe. They cannot
Obviously, you don't know
breed.
anything about genetics, dude.
They cannot
You obviously
breed.
don't know anything about genetics.
No,
I didn't say they couldn't breed. I said artificial insemination. If you,
it's going to be unviable because they can't breed. Okay, I'm done.
No, it doesn't.
I'm
That's not
done.
the way it
I'm
works.
done. You're an
That's
idiot.
not the
You're
way
an
it
idiot.
works.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You are stupid. They are not going to be able to breed. Artificial insemination or not, they cannot breed with each other. God, what a moron.
Okay, I'm just gonna say
How's it
something
going,
quick.
Lex?
I'm good, but you can have interspecies breeding, but the offspring will be sterile. Just like a donkey and a horse produces a mule. Mules are sterile because of a couple of anomalies in their chromosomes. But I'm gonna get out of here.
Appreciate you.
Hmm.
All right, y'all. I might go ahead and get out of here. Let's see. We got 7.9K likes, 67 people in here. God, I got too much patience, y'all. I got way too much patience. I got way too much patience. Motherfucker really came up here and said that an ostrich in a speech. I got way too much patience, y'all. I got way too much patience. Yeah, another Durden L. I see it. Another Durden L. Another L. Stupid Razor. That's what we're gonna call him from now on. We're gonna call him Stupid Razor. We're gonna call him Dunce Razor. Let's go ahead and do that. My God. All right, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and probably get out of here. I'm probably gonna go ahead and get out of here, y'all. We got what time is it? It's about to be 10:30 anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate you all being here. We had 8.4K likes, 52 people in the building. If I get one more guest, I'll probably go ahead and take them, but we'll probably get out of here, y'all. Oh, Megavirus on my YouTube said, honestly, I'm super excited for that guy to create the first penguin and emu hybrid just to spy on. That's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna make the first emu and penguin hybrid just to spite me, probably. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. All right, y'all. Let's see who else is here. The P-moo. Oh yeah, exactly. He's gonna make the P-moo just to spite me. Alrighty, this guy Almighty Dig has been on 2 or 3 of my lives, completely crashing out about atheists in the comments, and he actually never comes up to talk to anybody. Just I'm not sure if I can say that word, but yeah, just a cue. I go live Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I'm not sure Tuesday, Thursday, but I usually go live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I usually go live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. All right, Dunce Razor, you're cooked. All right, go ahead and get out of my life, please. This guy Dunce Razor, bro. Yeah, go ahead and be there. Go ahead and follow me. Make sure y'all subscribe, y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe. I cross stream these to YouTube. I have 2 YouTubes, Volsy Thoughts and the Black Atheist Coalition. I also have a Twitch. I didn't do it on my Twitch tonight because it just uses too much. But y'all subscribe to my YouTube as well, and y'all subscribe to my TikTok. I want to get monetized so we can go ahead and open up a shop and I can get some Patreon going. Just a cue, I appreciate that. I appreciate you following me on YouTube. I appreciate that so much. It's always good to get new subscribers. All right, Almighty Dig. I'm just gonna go ahead. My YouTube is Volsy Thoughts. It's the same thing as my as his TikTok. It's Volsy Thoughts. Does my real name start with a W? No, it doesn't. No, my name doesn't start with a W. I know Volsy is a common name for Haitians. It's a common first name and a common last name. But my name does not start with a W, no. Starts with a V. Volcy. Volsy Thoughts. Go ahead and follow that on YouTube as well. All the links are in my bio. Hey, Almighty Dig, I already invited you up. Are you going to keep crashing out in the comments or are you going to come up? Hey, appreciate that, just a Q. Oh, I think I have another. Okay. I think I have one more guess, and I'll probably go ahead and get out of here. Hansa, how's it going?
Doing all right, how you doing?
I'm all right. Are you over 18, and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
I am over 18, and I disagree with the fact you don't believe in. Well, I don't disagree with anything you have on the board.
Yo, can you hear me?
Everyone believes.
I can hear you. Just give me a second. Go ahead, Hamza. What you were saying?
I don't necessarily have I don't disagree with you necessarily because you're allowed to have your own opinion, but I would disagree with the fact that you don't believe in God.
All right, sure. Why should I believe in a God?
Well, to really break that down, I'd rather have to understand why you don't believe in God.
I have no evidence that a God is real, and have no reason to believe it. Then I just don't believe it.
What are your standards when it comes to evidence? Like,
Something
so
that
you have
is
a witness?
detectable, replicatable, verifiable, etc.
Okay, and then you don't think any religion is verifiable?
No, none of them have been verified.
Based on what circumstances, like historical events or like
Yeah, historical and the claims that they make about their deities have never been verified.
Okay. Would you say that atoms carry intelligence?
Do atoms carry intelligence?
Yes.
Like atoms, we're talking about like the things that make up protons and electrons. Do they carry intelligence? No, I don't think so. What are you saying intelligence is? Like, how you define intelligence?
Intelligence, knowing, like it's something that knows what to do and why, like, and how to do it. As far as like bringing something to existence, like there has to be a will in order for something to exist.
What? I don't think atoms have a particular will. They just follow physical laws.
No, no, but that's not the argument I was gonna make. The argument I was gonna make is that atoms carry intelligence. The question would be, where does that intelligence come from?
I don't think atoms have intelligence.
Well, maybe we can talk another time. I would suggest you looking into that first, and then we have a discussion. Because as far as energy or matter or even atoms itself.
That sounds like woo nonsense, bro. Nah, I'm just gonna hold you. That sounds like woo nonsense.
You can't reject science.
What
I mean, you can't
evidence?
reject
Hold on.
science.
What evidence do you have that atoms carry an intelligence? Like, you spoken to atoms? I don't understand.
I mean, there's research on it. That's why I said I would suggest you doing research.
What research shows that atoms have intelligence? And how do they know they have intelligence? How are they measuring intelligence? We can't even properly measure intelligence in humans. How are we measuring intelligence in atoms? Hold on, y'all. He's teacupped.
Yeah. So anyway, so you say your reason for you not believing in God is that there's no evidence, right?
Yeah, I have no evidence that is true, and it has no utility for my life.
So you basically like think God like a man-made construct from some random guy, and he was just like, "Yo, here's God."
No, I think in cultural when it comes to like cultural context, people they want this like to I would say what's the thing I'm trying to reach? I would say like to like kind of deal with life, or to have like a singular, like to kind of deal with life and have a singular cultural context, or how to know how to deal with passing away and stuff like that. Then yeah, they kind of make up gods.
I mean, that's it. I used to be atheist like last year, bro. So I'm already knowing how where you coming from with that. So like,
okay, what convinced you was true?
I read the Bible like 5 times, and like just traveling, like learning about different other religions and all that. To be honest, I just find like Christianity to be true.
Why?
Well, I took a trip to Jerusalem, just really like studying. I actually studied under a seminary for a while.
Mm-hmm.
well, that wasn't the thing that really like turned me like Christian. Like I was an atheist in the seminary. And, like during COVID, you know, it was a lockdown, so I really started delving into the Bible. I still wasn't Christian, and then I just had like I really had like a personal experience, and just like delve myself in, just putting aside my presuppositions of things that can't be true, and just really took it in. But that's like real personal. Like I'm not using like anecdotal evidence to like convince anybody that God is real. That's like
Okay, so you went to a seminary and you had a very personal experience when reading the Bible. Therefore, it's true.
It was at the seminary. Like seminary just like taught me how to read the Bible in a certain way. I didn't actually like seminary because it was more like denominational. So seminary actually like pushed me away from like the Bible. I left that, took a break, and then like I said, I had personal experience, which I can't like, you know, verify with empirical evidence because it's like personal. Like I can't, you know, it's not really going to do anything for anybody.
All right. So, what was this personal experience that convinced you? I'm not really hearing anything convincing.
Right. I'm not saying it was convinced. It's a personal. I'm not saying it will convince anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like it was an NDE basically.
Oh, you had an NDE.
Yeah.
All right. I mean, you realize that NDE always depend on like cultural context, right? Because when people in the Middle East or who are Muslim have NDEs, they see their religious figure, and so do Hindus.
Wait, they see Allah? I thought you don't know what Allah is.
No, they don't see Allah. They see like
Muhammad?
figures and probably not Muhammad, but like they see like symbols from their religious figures, and so do Hindus.
Maybe, but yeah, well, I'm not really into Islam. I study Islam just like.
But what makes the Bible true?
Just like, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like prophetical, like accuracy. You know, Jesus was a real person. Like people actually died. You know,
Jesus definitely was probably a real person. I'm not gonna deny that. Even though there's not a lot of evidence that he walked, there's still, you know, tertiary evidence that he was probably a real person.
Right.
But that doesn't mean his miracles are real.
I mean, that's a pretty like bold lie to like die for, to be honest. I mean,
yeah, like you ever heard of Jonestown?
Jonestown.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not clicking for me right now, but if you want,
Yeah, Jim Jones. He convinced 900 people to move to Brazil, and they all unalive at the same time.
Oh, that's
Like
cool.
you can convince people of anything. Well, almost anyone of anything.
Right. I got you. I mean, yeah, I get it. You feel me? But anyway, so you basically saying you have no evidence for God?
No, there isn't. No, there's no evidence. No good evidence, at least.
Right. And you say science just explains everything, like top down. Science explained everything.
No, it's there's still things that science can't explain.
Like what?
We don't know what happened before the Big Bang. We're not exactly sure if consciousness is emergent or not. We don't know what's under the surface ocean of Europa. There's things science can't explain.
Okay. So we don't know where consciousness comes from. That's all like philosophical. So basically, consciousness isn't like a real thing.
Yeah, we know consciousness is real. Give me a second. I'm sorry. Yeah, consciousness is definitely a real thing, and it's probably emergent. It's probably an emergent property, like you know, the chemicals and neurons in our brain come together to make consciousness. That's probably what it is, but we're still not 100% sure yet.
Yeah, but like, where do it come from? That's the thing.
It's probably emergent.
Emergent?
Mhm.
Like we just
Like for example, where does fire come from?
chemical reaction.
Right. That could be what consciousness is.
It's a chemical reaction in our brain.
Probably a chemical reaction. Yeah. As
I
far
mean,
as what we studied,
right.
consciousness is probably just a chemical reaction because when our brain is gone, so is consciousness.
You mean like when our brain is like dead, like when we brain dead?
When we're brain dead, yeah. It's conscious. Our consciousness goes. There's no consciousness there. We don't have consciousness without the brain.
Right. I got you. So consciousness don't know what happened before the Big Bang.
Those are the two biggest mysteries. Why is there something rather than nothing?
Right, and that's God.
Okay, can you prove that?
Can I prove why there's something rather than nothing?
No, can you prove that God is the reason why there's something rather than nothing?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, sure,
Well,
go ahead.
I mean, what would we consider proof? Like,
Something testable, verifiable, replicatable, etc.
all right, well, like life. Like,
What about it?
like in the Bible, it's called a God of life, and life is repeatable and verifiable. Why else do we have life?
Wait, so the Bible says that God is the God of life?
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we have life.
that's a claim. We have a life. Life existing is evident, but
Right.
but the God of the Bible being the God of life is a claim. How you know that?
You said how do I know that? I mean,
Yeah, how do we prove that?
like everybody in their heart know God exists.
No, I don't.
You do know. I mean, you
No, I
wouldn't
don't.
be. I mean, you do if you wouldn't be trying to get clout off God if you didn't know there's a
No, I
possibility
don't.
of God existing.
No, I don't.
You had to deny it. You
No, I
had to
don't.
deny it. You
No,
had
you
to
don't.
suppress the truth.
No, you don't.
It says it in the Bible.
You think I'm lying?
I don't
Let me
think
let me
you're
let me
lying. I
let me
think
ask
you're
you let me ask you a
suppressing.
question. Let me ask you a question. Before you came to this live, did you know I existed?
Did I know you existed?
Right.
No,
So how can you tell me what's in my heart?
because you're talking about God.
So
So you know He exists.
if I was talking about Voldemort, does that mean I believe that Voldemort exists?
I mean, He exists in a way. He's a
No, he
creation
doesn't.
of our. He's a creation
Voldemort
of
does
an
not
artist.
exist, bro.
He's a creation of an artist.
That doesn't make him exist.
Like
Peter Parker does not exist.
there's different levels of existence.
No, there's not. Things either exist or they don't.
I mean, that's a black and white say. That's a black and white saying. But you create something, it exists.
How?
Art exists. Art exists.
I know art exists. That doesn't mean that the
Okay.
character. That doesn't mean the character you create in the art exists.
How? Wait. So you're saying you know art exists, but if you create a character in art, it doesn't exist?
Listen to what I'm saying. I can. Were you a fan of Dragon Ball Z growing up?
Right.
Can you go meet Piccolo right now?
Not in a physical sense.
No. Can you go shake Piccolo's hands right now?
Not in the physical sense.
I didn't say in a physical sense. Can you wake up,
But
go
that's
out your house?
physical.
Listen. Can you go wake up out your house and shake Piccolo's hands? Can you do that?
No, because he's not physical.
He's not real.
But I could hop on a game and play as Piccolo.
That does not make him real. Do you understand what I mean by real?
So you mean physical? Someone
Something that takes up time and space. Something that's matter.
So that's
This
real.
is real. Piccolo is not.
Okay, so that's real. So that's real to you, right?
Yes.
Time, anything that take up time and space is real.
Things that take up time and space are real. All
Okay,
of
so
reality takes up
anger-
time and space.
So anger isn't real. Happiness isn't real.
Those are real. You know why?
They don't take up time and space.
They're chemicals in our brain, which
Oh.
do what? Take up time and space.
What? Wait, so you think so everybody that you love is just a chemical reaction.
People that I love, I can physical. I could go touch my wife right now, bro. What are you talking about?
Right. I'm talking about when you can't touch her. You still love her, right?
Yeah. And love is real because guess what? Love is a chemical reaction in your brain.
So you saying you only love your wife because of a chemical reaction?
Basically, that's how we evolved.
I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy.
Yeah, it does sound crazy, doesn't it? We're all soulless sacks of meat.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy.
Yeah, I know it sounds crazy,
Damn.
but we have
So
no
wait,
evidence of anything else.
wait, so you think your wife is just a sack of meat that you have chemical reactions for?
Yes, that's what we all are.
Yeah,
Where we have no souls. There's no souls.
that's tough, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's
Yeah,
tough.
it is. It
That's
is tough to
tough.
deal with, which is why people made up religion because we didn't want to accept that.
People made a religion because
That's exactly why religion was made up, because they didn't want to accept that when we die, that's it.
That's crazy.
They didn't want to accept that before we were born, we didn't exist, and that when we die, we no longer exist. After you pass away, you will never see your grandmother again. That's it. They're gone.
Well, how do you know that? You never
Because
died.
there's no evidence of anything else.
But you never died.
But there's no evidence of anything else.
All right, so you sure that? All right, so what you saying is you
Provide me evidence of the afterlife, and then maybe I'll consider it.
so you
Don't just say that the Bible says the afterlife exists. Can
Okay.
you actually provide evidence of the actual afterlife? It doesn't even have to be anything physical. Can you detect it? Like, does the afterlife give off light?
do the dead get off light?
I didn't say the dead get off light. I said, does the afterlife give off light? Like, does the spiritual world, does it have light in the spiritual world?
I don't know.
Okay, so what is the spiritual world made out of? Is it made out of anything?
There's the spiritual world is made out of. The spiritual world is not made of natural things. 'Cause,
All right, so it's not made of atoms or anything like that.
yeah, why would it be made of atoms? It wouldn't be a spiritual world. It would be the physical world.
Okay, so if it's not made out of atoms, what
Right.
is it made out of?
I guess your spirit will. If you
What
have
is the spirit made out of?
the spirit is made of unnatural things.
What unnatural things?
Unnatural.
What do we call those? Like, what is it?
Well, I guess supernatural.
Okay, so supernatural stuff. What is it made of? What's a substance? What do we call the supernatural stuff?
What do we call it? Supernatural stuff? What you mean?
Yeah, what is it? Like, we know natural stuff is atoms, quarks, leptons. Quarks, leptons, and electrons, they're the elementary particles. They're the smallest particles that we can get. The
Right.
particles in the spiritual world, where are they? Like, what do we call those?
Spirit.
The particles of the spiritual world are called spirit.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do we see these spirit particles?
We have to die. What you mean?
Do you see the problem here?
I don't see the problem because I'm alive. Like, we're alive. I'm
There is a
worried about-
problem. You can't
Yeah,
verify
if
anything that you're saying.
Yeah, if you worry about dying,
I'm not worried about dying. What I'm saying is that you cannot verify what you're saying. You're saying something exists and we're not going to see it until we die. So how do you know that?
it's called faith. That's the whole point of religion.
And faith isn't a reliable pathway to the truth.
Faith isn't. So wait, so you have faith in nothing?
There's something I'm pretty sure if we go down a list, I can say.
Pretty sure. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure if we go down like an extensive list, there's probably gonna be something I'm like, yeah, I got to get on faith. Sure.
Exactly. So you have faith in things.
So
I mean, I know it's hard to have faith in an experience that you can only have.
that doesn't make it a reliable pathway to the truth, because you can have 100% of faith in something and be wrong, like the Greeks.
And you can have 100% certainty of something and still be wrong.
Correct.
Agrees. Like, so it's not like you can have 100% certainty of something and have 100%.
Don't confuse faith with certainty.
I'm not confusing faith.
Because you know what I'm certain of?
What you certain
I'm
of?
certain if I drink this ball of water, it's gonna quench my thirst. That's certain.
Or you can choke on the water and die. Like, not saying.
I didn't say anything about dying. I said quench my thirst.
Not saying that. Let me get this straight. I'm not saying that you'll choke on the water. Nah, bro.
Right. But I'm not talking about choke on the water. I'm uncertain that if I drink this water, I'll choke on it. That's something I'm uncertain of. But I am certain that if I drink it, it'll quench my thirst. I'm certain of that.
Right. So you can't be like, you certain that it might quench your thirst if you don't choke. It don't go down the wrong pipe and you don't choke.
Yeah, but the thing is, I have evidence that it won't do that because I know how to drink bottles of water, right?
I would hope so.
Exactly. So I have more evidence in this ball of water than I do the spiritual world. Faith isn't a reliable pathway to truth for that reason.
I mean, I guess
Because remember, the ancient Egyptians had 100% faith in Amun Ra. Is Amun Ra real?
I mean, God destroyed them. In the Bible, God destroyed them.
God destroyed Amun Ra in the Bible?
Yeah, in Exodus.
Where does it say that?
In Exodus,
Amun Ra does not come up in Exodus.
the Egyptian gods come up in Exodus, not exactly by name, but God in the place. God.
The Egyptians have no records of any plagues, so the Exodus didn't happen.
Well, you know, they don't really make records of their losses.
Yeah, they do. They have.
They don't make records of their losses like that.
Yes, they did. They wrote down that they lost to the Hittites. They wrote it down. And even if they didn't write it down, even if they didn't write it down, the Hittites wrote it down themselves. So yeah, the Egyptians did write down their losses. They wrote them down.
Yeah, but they ain't write how they lost to the Jews.
Yeah, they did. No, I mean, no, they didn't write how they lost to the Jews because the Jews were not in Israel. Even Jewish scholars will tell you that the ancient Israelites were not in Egypt. They were not there. The Israelites were never slaves in Egypt. Now, there were Semitic speaking people in Egypt, sure, but the ethnic group, the Israelites, they were not there.
Well, how do they know they was Israelites? Because there's two different types of people that came from the same person.
There's two different types of people that came from the same person.
Ishmael and Isaac, they had two different branches of people: the Arabs and the Jews and the Israelites.
No.
Yeah, they are.
You think the Arabs came from Abraham?
Yeah.
They did not.
Ishmael, yes.
That's biblical history right there, man.
They did not.
How you just so you just say they? So what proof that you have they did? Because the Bible says Ishmael. In fact, not even the Bible. The Quran says that. Like that's not even the Bible. Like that's
and
like,
holy books are claims, not evidence.
Bro, so all history books are claims.
No, they are not, because they actually have evidence behind it. Archaeological evidence.
The Bible has archaeological evidence.
And you can cross.
Hold on. Listen.
Mm-hmm.
There is evidence of things that happen in the Bible. Yeah, we know that, but that doesn't mean how the foundation myths of the Bible are actually true. Just because the Bible says the Exodus happened doesn't mean that it happened. We actually go into Egypt and go into the Middle East and check to see if these things are actually real. We found out that they are not.
Yeah,
There's no archaeological evidence of the Israelites being in Egypt. Zero.
So you saying historical evidence?
And the Arabs came from the Arabian Peninsula, not from Abraham and his son Ishmael. That's stupid.
Bro, I'm trying, bro. So you saying, all right? So what's your evidence for historical evidence? Archaeological,
linguistic, relics, things like that.
So you saying there were Semitic people in Egypt, but not?
There were Semitic-speaking people in Egypt, and there were Semitic-speaking people in the Arabian Peninsula, but that doesn't mean that the Israelite tribes that we know about were in Egypt at that time. As a matter of fact, the Bible gets the Ramses wrong, because when they're retelling the story of the Exodus in the Bible, they mention the Temple of Ramses, and they give a date. That date is incorrect. Ramses was born 200 years after that. So we know that they got it wrong.
The first Ramsey?
Say that again.
The first Ramsey?
Yeah, the Ramses that they mention. Wrong.
So there's multiple Ramses, right?
Yeah, there was a lot of Ramses though.
I understand there's a lot of Ramses. I'm talking about the Ramses that they're talking about under the Exodus. They didn't escape under that Ramses. There is no Ramses where they escaped under, as a matter of fact. Again, there's no evidence of the Israelites ever being in Egypt. None. The only place we find this is in the Bible. And nowhere else.
You right.
I don't find that weird.
You right.
So the Semitic people, they're not Jewish. They were just in Egypt, and they disappeared.
That was before they became the Israelites, right? Now Semitic speaking people. Now there's more. Remember, Semitic is a language, so there's Semitic speaking people in Egypt. Like the Ethiopians were Semitic speaking people too, and so are the Arabs. So Semitic speaking people were around, but the group of the Israelites as we know today were not there. There's no evidence of that. There's not even any evidence of Moses.
Yeah, everybody knows there's no evidence of Moses. I mean, there's barely evidence of Alexander the Great.
No, there's evidence of Alexander the Great. Like his name is written in Egyptian letters, in Egyptian walls. They literally have Alexander written out.
So you can have evidence on walls, but not in books.
Say that again.
You can have evidence on walls, but not in books.
You can have. What I'm saying is that the books that are written, it should be compiled with something else. Like for example, if I write a book that 40 years ago in Miami, Florida, a kid from Haiti flew up to the sky and had a big bazooka, you would expect to have evidence of that, right? Like 40 years ago, we had video recorders. You see me saying that no one recorded this at all? You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, if it's not, hold on. What I'm saying is that if what's written down in the book is not compiled with anything else, then you're gonna have a problem, aren't you?
I mean, not necessarily, because like there's other things that's been recorded that's not recorded, that wasn't like video recorded.
It doesn't have to. I'm not saying it has to be video recorded. What I'm saying is that if you wrote something down in a book, then you should expect to see some sort of some sort of trace evidence of that being the case. And when it comes to the Israelites being in Egypt, we do not see that. We do see Alexander though.
On the wall.
On the walls, yeah. We see Alexander on the walls. We know where his body is laid down. We see that the Indians wrote about him as well. So, and we see him on coinage. Like the Egyptians printed out coins, the Greeks printed out coins. You know what I mean? And there's Greek historians, like I'm not sure if it's Herodotus, but there's Greek historians that wrote down about Alexander. Greek historians, Egyptian historians, Persian historians, they all wrote down about Alexander. So it wasn't just, Alexander is just in this one book written by Homer somewhere. It was written by several other people, and they have his coins, and he's on walls, and he's on pottery. There's different lines of evidence.
All right, so what about King David?
King David was real because there's coinage of him, and he's written on walls, and the Hittites wrote about him, and the Assyrians wrote about him. So we know King David was real. We know Israel was a real place. Does that mean that, he actually killed a giant guy? Who knows? That giant guy just might have been 6'7" and not an actual giant. Hey, I appreciate the gifts, y'all. But yeah, there are legendary things that happen all the time. But like King David might have been a real person, but does that mean that the prophet Elijah flew up to heaven? No.
Amazing things happen all the time.
Hmm?
Amazing things happen all the time.
Amazing things happen all the time, but why should I believe that he flew up to heaven? Or Elijah flew up to heaven?
Yeah, it's called miracles. I mean,
why should I believe that though?
I mean, if you presuppose that miracles can't happen, of course you're not gonna believe it.
I'm not presupposing that it can't happen. I'm asking why should I believe it? I mean, yeah, sure, it could happen, but why should I believe? If I'm gonna believe that, should I believe that Orochimaru and Lady Tsunade poked the heavens with a samurai sword and caused a flood of Japan?
Well, no, that's anime.
I'm not talking about anime. That's actually in Shintoism. That's an actual religion.
Oh yeah, I'm not really into like Japanese religion.
Yeah, like that Orochimaru and Tsunade and what's the other guy names? Pervy Sage, his name. I forgot what his name was. But yeah, they're actually in like the Shinto religion. They're actually real people, but not real people. But they're actually in the Shinto mythologies. If we're gonna believe one story, how come we can't believe in the other ones?
Well, did they say that they're the truth, the way, and the life?
Doesn't matter if they did or not, bro.
That's a big claim, man.
So
how is there no good evidence?
I can hold on, Gabe. I can claim to be the way, the truth, and the life right now. Are you gonna believe me just because I say it?
Of course not.
Exactly. So just because someone says it doesn't make it the truth. Why would you just believe it?
It's about your actions too. I mean,
all right. I'm the way, the truth, and the life, and I want to become a therapist to help out black men. Am I the savior of black men?
I mean, you call your wife a sack of meat. Like I can't really say you the way, the truth, and the life.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the way, the truth, and the life, and we're all sacks of meat who are gonna die one day, and I'm the savior of black men because I'm gonna be a therapist. Come on, bro. Like it's.
No, but that's different though. I mean, it's not like people like prophesize you coming and it's like, you doing all these miracles. You on TikTok talking about sex and meat.
I was prophesized to come. My dad said that my third child is gonna be a son, and guess what? I'm the third child and I'm a son.
According to who?
According to my dad.
So that's enough for you?
Yeah, I was prophesized. I'm the savior, guys, because my dad prophesized me.
So
see how silly that gets?
I mean, he could have. I don't know. I mean, you believe your dad? You think your dad is a verifiable source?
Yeah, I mean, my mom even backed him up. My mom even said that yeah, your dad predicted that you were gonna be the third one, and guess what? I was the third one.
So you believe in prophecy?
Yeah, sure. According to you, that's prophecy.
That's according to you. You don't want to say your dad prophesies.
What I'm saying is that, and we actually way past time. I got to move on. But what I'm saying is that people predicting something
Right.
doesn't make it a prophecy, even if they get it right.
All right. I mean, I get where you're coming from, bro. I mean, I ain't trying to hold you up too much. Look, I enjoy your talk. You intelligent, man. You know, seem like you got like your stuff going on.
Sure, not a problem. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
All right,
you.
y'all. I gotta go. The other guy left. All right, I appreciate you. All right.
All right.
Have a good night. All right, Gabe, you're probably gonna be my final one. I think I have two more guests. Well, actually, one more guest. Oh, actually, two more guests just came up. All right, we got. Actually, I didn't mean to bring you up, Pero. I meant to bring up Mila, but I guess she dropped down. All right, y'all. Excuse me. We got two more guests up, and then we're gonna go ahead and end it for the night. We're at 11.4K likes and 64 people in here. Pero and Mila, go ahead and mute up for me real quick. I gotta talk to Gabe. Gabe, how's it going?
They're dumbass.
Gabe, you there? Yeah, I gotta get y'all Wi-Fi together, man. Pray for all their Wi-Fi, y'all. Pray for their Wi-Fi because it is not together tonight. All right, Mila, you there?
Oh,
How's it going, Mila? Are you over 18 and do you disagree with something I have on the board?
yes, I am 19. And I'm not here to like comment on anything that I disagree. Just reading these comments, there's a lot of disrespect towards our religion, and all I asked is, we're supposed to respect everyone. We just ask for you guys to respect us as well. I'm not saying you guys or you are as a person. I'm just saying the people in the comments are disrespecting it. That's all.
Okay. One thing I would say is that I 100% respect humans, but I don't necessarily have to respect beliefs. Does that make sense?
Sense completely, yeah. If you you are not supposed to respect something that you feel like you shouldn't have to, just respect us as people and respect what we believe in. You know what I mean? Not like respect what we believe in, but respect us and respect the fact that we're going to believe in something. And it's not you, and I know you have respect towards everyone. It's just the people in the comments. That's all.
Not a problem. Did you want to talk to me about anything?
No, that's all. Thank you for having me up here.
All right, appreciate you. All right, y'all. I tried to get the other guys up, but their Wi-Fi. Let me see if Gabe's Wi-Fi is better now. We'll give Gabe a few more minutes, and we'll see if his Wi-Fi works now. All right. We have to go ahead and pray for their Wi-Fi, y'all. We'll have to go ahead and pray to the Lord Olodumare, to send down Shango, the god of electricity, to, bless their Wi-Fi, bless their connection. Ooga booga boo. Bless their Wi-Fi, y'all. All right, I think Gabe had to go. Y'all. I did bring two other people up, but their Wi-Fi wasn't working, I guess. So I guess they had to go. All right, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and go and get on out of here. All right, y'all. Oh, well, this is one thing I will ask. Respect the person. Don't get too heated in the comments. Respect the person, but you don't necessarily have to respect what they believe in, because I 100% respect you as a person. I want you to live a good life. I want you to experience love. I want you to experience family. But we don't necessarily have to respect what you believe. You know what I mean? Especially if what you believe has causes issues in our society. Because we've run up against a lot of Christians who said that they will literally, annihilate their children if a voice in their head tells them to. I don't see a reason to respect that. You know what I mean? Now, of course, there are a lot of Christians out there who are, fine people. That's fine. They're good people. They will never do something like that. As a matter of fact, they agree with me. Annihilate their children. They will go to the hospital because they don't believe their God will tell them that. I could respect that. I could 100% respect that. You know what I mean? But as far as religion goes, I do not have to respect that. I don't know how to respect the belief that, you know, an ancient Jewish carpenter wizard like became a virgin sacrifice to his father, who's also himself, because he needed to create a loophole for the rules he created himself. Like that sounds ridiculous, and I'm gonna tell you it sounds ridiculous. You know what I mean? Now I don't want you to take that personally, because you are not your religion. You are not your belief. You are different from your belief. You feel me? You are a different person from your belief. Your belief is just like a bag of books you carry around, essentially. You're not your belief. You're more than the Christian faith. You're more than a Muslim. You're more than a Hindu. You're more than that. You know what I mean? You're Johnny or Stacy or whatever your name is. You're more than just a belief. So I'm going to respect you 100% as a person. But the belief, if I find it ridiculous, I'm going to tell you, I find that shit ridiculous, bro. Like, I'm not going to believe that. That sounds like nonsense. I mean, I don't necessarily have to respect that, but I will respect you. And I hope that makes sense to everybody. All right, I'm going to bring up Issa, and then we're going to go ahead and end it off for the night. What's up, Issa?
Just really quick, I think of when I was going through chemo and a woman sitting right next to me was thanking God for saving her and making her better, like while our oncologist is standing over us speaking to us. And I'm like, you literally aren't even thanking the person in front of us that's responsible for saving our lives. You're thanking this sky wizard that you've put so much stock into while literally going to a doctor. Like, if that God is saving your life, you wouldn't need to be here hooked up to these machines full of chemicals being pumped into our bodies to save our lives.
Correct.
I just wanted to mention that.
100% correct. W's for Issa in the chat, y'all. I gotta make you a no problem. I gotta make you a mod, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I'll make you some mod. I gotta make her a mod, by the way. She's always here. She's always supportive. And not only that, as a mod, she might even get all those emojis that I have. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. W Issa in the chat. What up, Petty Frog? I saw you about an hour ago. I forgot to say what's up to you. What's up, I'm Petty Frog. Hey, Algorithm is here. Algorithm has summoned me. You're here. I appreciate you being here, man. Appreciate you being here. All right, y'all. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and get out of here. My back hurts, and I gotta rub my wife's feet. We're gonna go ahead and end it off for tonight. Y'all go ahead and join me tomorrow. I do these every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Shout out to everybody who was watching me from YouTube on both channels. I appreciate y'all. If you are not able to get up today, go ahead and come back on tomorrow. I'll definitely be here. Y'all don't forget to subscribe to me. Please, y'all have a subscription goal. I have a subscription goal of 10 subscribers. Help me get up to that. I am trying to get monetized because I want to get some merch out there. I want to get a Patreon out there. Subscribe to my YouTube. Hey, shout out to Dax Mac. Shout out to Kyla. I appreciate the follow, y'all. I appreciate the follow. I appreciate y'all. Love you all. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Ooh, I don't see what's going on in the comments, y'all. I just see someone say this is why we don't respect Christians. I don't see what's going on in the comments. If the comments got tense, then apologize. I'm sorry that it got tense tonight, but I appreciate y'all. All right. Hey, Just a Q, I appreciate you. I think you're a new follower. W Just a Q. W Kari. W Issa. Shout out to Jacone. Shout out to who else? Oh, Tahir on my YouTube. Shout out to Megavirus on my YouTube. Shout out to Cass on my YouTube. I appreciate you all being here. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You guys are amazing. I love you all. So to see y'all tomorrow, 8 p.m. We back at it. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna do politics. Let's see how that goes. All right.